Yes, good evening, everyone. It's the two marks back for the what would you call it? Just the bar call that was against Bournemouth today. We're going to have a chat about that. Mark's here with me as usual. Hello, Mark. You all right, mate?
Hello, mate. How is it? Yeah, welcome all in the chat.
Yeah, welcome to everyone. Yeah, and Scott's here with us at the moment. Scott, how are you, mate?
Doing great. I got to say, I love that theme that coming in there. I had heard it, I think only the one time before, because I don't always catch the show right at the start, but that is a great theme song. I quite love it. And glad to be here with you guys. Not so sure I'm glad to be talking about that Spurs game, but we'll get into all that fun. But always good to chat with you guys.
The intro, we must give props to Ben and Coover.
Yeah.
Coming up with that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got a few in the chat already. So we'll say a quick few hellos and then we'll get on with it.
George, big up, mate.
Big up, George.
Another horrible show today, sadly. Yeah.
It's a bit better.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, cheers, George.
If you haven't liked, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
We always forget to ask, don't we?
We do. Yeah, we do. We always forget. Big up, Matty. Nice to see you,
big up, Matty. The link's pinned to the top of the chat if you want to come on.
Yeah, anyone's welcome to come on. You know, all we ask is that your camera's on, talk about the game today, and we'll get into it. So anyone's more than welcome. Just click the link, come in, and Mark will let you in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can only have 6 on the screen at once. So
yeah,
we'll just say that.
Yeah, 6 on the screen.
You know, but we can rotate.
Yeah, we can.
Sorry, Arsenal just scored 1-1.
Oh, did they? I was watching. I watched the first half of that.
I don't know if spoiler alert or not, but
yeah. 1-1 to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up, Roy.
Mate,
nice to see you, mate. Yeah. Angus, nice to see you too, mate. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, he's turned up now. Arsenal have equalised.
Yeah.
We should have known when we saw Angus. We should have known. They must have scored.
Big up, Angus, mate. Big up.
Yeah, big up, mate. Oh. Nige, big up, buddy.
Big up, Nige.
Great to meet you yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick a light on, chaps. I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, you carry on.
So stick a light on. There we go. That's a bit better.
And we'll come on in a bit. Still driving home.
Yeah.
No hurry, Matty.
That's better. We'll see you soon, Matty. Nice one, mate.
Yeah. Declan Rice. Rice scored a screamer.
Anyway, sod Arsenal. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Scott, give us your feelings. I know it's a lot of sameness going on today, as what we've been seeing. But give us your general thoughts about the game today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that we're starting to get the players back. We've heard from a big part of our fan base, once we get the players back, things are going to change, and nothing changed at all. We had the same problems that we've been seeing since Ange came in here. Romero's back. I don't know if he was trying to give up a goal in the first minute or two, but, you know, it looked terrible. Mickey Van de Ven came back on. I don't know if he was quite as bad as Romero, but he didn't really solidify us or make us look that much better. Odebert starts, and I don't remember him creating anything for us. Solanke's back. I'll wait maybe later in the show. You guys have something to tell me what he did that was impressive. And I just think that it's showing us more and more. We hear so much about how it's the players, it's the injuries, it's this and that. But the more the players change, no matter if we bring in Tell in the January, we get our players back, it's still the same tactics, and they're not working. They've never worked. Even in those 10 games at the start, there were so many holes in our game that I think we're just seeing now. This is a problem with the manager. We're not going to get anywhere if we don't change that. Doesn't matter who comes back healthy. Doesn't matter who we bring in. We need to change the manager before we're going to get anything different.
Yeah. Mark, what were your thoughts today, mate, on what you saw?
That's the same old, isn't it? I mean, you see various shows, and it's like, wait till we get the injured players back. It makes no difference. It makes no difference. We had probably one of our two best defenders back today, and he was awful.
Absolutely awful.
He was dreadful, man.
Rubbish, wasn't
He couldn't even pass to a teammate, man.
Right.
You know, he couldn't even do the basics.
He just looks to me like he just don't want to be here anymore.
No.
End of story. I don't get it.
That's my opinion as well. He's checked out.
He was so poor, wasn't he? So poor. But a lot of them were. A lot of them were poor today. And Ellie's right what she said. There were people that were trying. I don't dispute that, Ellie. But the tactics from the manager are making the players look even poorer than what they're showing on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting, isn't it? It really is. Like, I mean, Vicario today. Thoughts on Vicario, chaps? What did we think about Big Vic today?
He kept us in the game.
Yeah, first half. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I think with Vicario, we saw what he's great at and what he's not so great at. Because the saves he made early on were amazing, and then he came pretty close to giving up another goal because he's trying to mess around playing at the back, which he's not very good at. He gave the ball away. You know, that one play I remember, he gave it right to Bournemouth, and then kind of got lucky. He got it back, and then almost put it right back in our net himself. I think we saw what he is. He's shot stopping. There's no doubt. I think anybody in our fan base has any questions about his shot stopping ability. He is quality, and he saved us. But when we're trying to have him play these passes, he can't do it. He needs to have the option to kick it long, because anytime he's under pressure, it's scary.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Scott. You're not wrong. His footwork has it's got to improve, in it, because I don't know what do you chaps think about this consistently, and we've got to remember as well, before I say this, we're at home to Bournemouth today. Now, we are so poor, I put us down for a 3-1 defeat, you know, and if it had been that, I don't think anyone could have really complained.
No.
You know, they had the chances to win 4-5. I know we hit the post a couple of times, you know, and we had 61% possession, but it was the same old, as in the opposing team in our house looked dangerous throughout the 90 minutes because we were so open, continually so open.
Well, that goal, when they went 1-0 up, right? Now, I did see it, obviously, but like at half-time on the Sky commentary, one of them, either Carragher or the other one, said, that man, he intercepted the ball just outside Bournemouth's area. He ran 63 yards.
Yeah.
63 yards up our right hand side. Well, their left, our right.
Yeah.
Hand side of the pitch. And no one challenged him. We were that out of shape. He had the whole of White Hart Lane virtually to run into.
Yeah, well, Porro had inverted, then played the silly pass that was cut out, wasn't it? And then there's no one there. But I've got to say, he might have had 60 yards to run into, but whether he plays for Bournemouth or not, what a cross.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
What a cross. Absolutely top draw cross from Kirkes for that first goal.
And you know what I mean? Like if you compare Bournemouth's team to ours, right, the players they've got, and we just said at the start of the season, you know, like we're going to sign Kirkes, we're going to sign a few other Bournemouth players, the fan base would have gone into meltdown. Oh, they're not better than what we got. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show, with a good manager that knows a system and keeps to a system and can tweak things in game and adjust, that's what you get. You know, can you imagine if we'd assigned, just name some Bournemouth players, like Kirkes, whatever his name is, or
Lewis Cook, Christie.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Tottenham had signed them players in the summer? Our fans would have gone absolutely berserk. You know, so you can't tell me.
Signed their top scorer and they got better.
Yeah, and you can't tell me that Bournemouth are a better team than us, a better squad than us. It's just that they got a manager that knows what he's doing.
And we've got no excuses now, have we? Because apart from Kulu and maybe one more, we've got everyone back. Everyone is back.
Yeah.
But nothing changed on the pitch. It was the same old crap.
Wide open.
Again, wide open, balls over the top. Their midfielders and defenders being able to run into grass and not being challenged. Again, I'll reiterate, there was a lot of effort. I want to go to Scott. I want to ask you, we've had chats in the WhatsApp group today, a few of us, about Bergvall. Now, I can see that he's got something. I think we all can. I'm at the point where I look at him and I think, number one, there's too much responsibility on him. It almost seems like this 18-year-old kid, who should be learning off Basuma, learning off Bentancur because they're senior players. It's like Andrew said, look, you're going to run the midfield, mate. You're going to be the one that's pushing us forward. Now, he did do a lot of running around, but unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of end product. Scott, what are your feelings on Lucas Bergvall today and in general? And what do you think may be the best thing that could happen to him? Stay at Spurs, carry on, go and have a loan somewhere? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot quite similar to what you were saying. I think you can see I don't think many people doubt the skill level he has. He has skill, he has talent. For me, though, what I see is a player that isn't ready to be asked to be the most important player in our midfield. And at times that's what he's doing. It's a poor setup that we have, that we are asking him to come in, and he's doing way too much because all he has at this point in his career is playing in Sweden, right? And we shouldn't expect any different. He's only played in Sweden. He's coming into a midfield that is a disaster, that is poorly coached, right? That's number one. It's a poorly coached midfield. It's a poorly set up midfield. And then he comes in and he tries his best, right? Again, he tries hard. I credit him with that. But too many passes go to the wrong team. Too many passes go to other people. He takes a long time when the pass is there. That's one of the things, right? When you go up a level from Sweden and you come to the Premier League, you don't get 5 seconds to make that pass. Your pass has to be there, or else they cut it out. Even against the poor teams, right? Even against Southampton, you can't take that much time. In terms of what he should do, I want him to be a Spurs player. I think 2, 3, 4 years from now, he could easily be a key player for us if he's developed correctly. I think if Ange is here 100%, he needs to go somewhere else. I think even if we do bring in a quality manager, it might be worth it for him to go to another team and just get that chance where he can play in a proper system. He could learn to have that time. And I just don't think that Spurs is a team where we should be having a midfielder developing as he plays. So I would say for me, depends who's our manager next year. If we have a quality manager who plays a quality system, maybe you want him here because you want him developing that. But I don't trust Spurs to ever have that. I don't trust Spurs under Daniel Levy, even if we do get in a quality manager that will have the players around him. So I think it might be worth it. Send him out on loan. We've seen some of those top. I mean, ideally, you'd go to a place like Dortmund because we see how Dortmund can develop young players. But send him out somewhere. I know lots of people always say championship. I might prefer for him to go to the German league. He's from Sweden. I think he can fit in up there. Play for a quality manager in the German league and really get a chance to develop, because that's what he needs right now. He has the natural talent. What he needs now is to refine that talent and learn how to play in the men's leagues, right? In a senior professional top level league. Yeah. So I would think maybe going out to Germany would be a great shot for him next year, and then come back and be the player we hope that he can develop into.
I'm with you there, Scott. I think he's got talent. You can see it. And like you say, I think you've used a great word there. Needs to be refined. Absolutely. Mark, thoughts on Bergvall today and in general?
You can definitely see that there's something there.
Yeah.
From him.
Yeah.
But he's still young. He still needs developing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, I had no problems when we made them signings. You know, like Gray, Bergvall. You know, I don't care if they sign all the youngsters, as long as they bring ready-made first teamers in at the same time that are going to improve us. You know what I mean?
No, Mark, is it? It's
No.
It's been going on like this for ages, and
Yeah.
you know, you might get to the summer, and he might go and spend 40 million on a, you know, whatever, but he's won enough, won a season, or
Yeah. No,
it's not enough to me.
To be honest, mate, the likes of Gray and Bergvall should have been brought in as complements to ready-made players that would have improved us immediately.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal have done with that Wanyeri, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they brought him in, they've given the odd game, they played him behind Saka, and, you know, he was even playing out of position, wasn't
he? Yeah.
You know, I mean, they've sort of, they haven't just, well, let's face it, right? Bergvall's only playing because we had that many injuries, you know, and he had no choice but to put him in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely believe that if we didn't have, you know, Bentancur out and a few others in the midfield that was injured, Biss got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he would have played. Big up, Matty.
Big up, mate.
Yeah.
You been to the game today, Matty?
Yeah, I just got back.
He was in a private box. He's talky lot.
In the private box. Go on then, Matty. We've only had one question, really. Well, we've had two, but general thoughts on the game. And the second question we've just gone through is thoughts on Bergvall today and generally since he's come to the club.
First of all, my thoughts on today. So the first half was so poor. It's probably the worst half I've ever seen us play, ever. I think that was worse than Tamworth, worse than Alkmaar in the week. We didn't know what to do. The passing, we couldn't get more than 3 passes. Everyone was giving the ball away. Defense to attack, we couldn't get the ball to Solanke. Sar, Bentancur, Basuma, no one saw them the whole first half. Clueless. I think second half was just as bad. Second half we improved. We had a bit more of the ball, but both goals were lucky. I don't think we deserved it. I think Sar's goal was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
And there was a penalty this someone's goal. I don't think we deserved to score, and we can't really score from open play at the moment. We haven't scored in the last 3 games for open play, except Sar's goal, obviously. It's just awful. Like, we're heading in completely wrong direction. Nothing's changing. I don't know why Ange's still here. And yeah, my thoughts on Bergvall. He's a young player. He's only 18. I think we can see he's definitely got potential. He's a good prospect. But at the moment, what we're seeing from him isn't like he's too rash. He shows childish like traits like in his play. You can see that too many mistakes, and he doesn't know what to do. Like the goal against Alkmaar, the own goal. Some people say it was like there's nothing you could do about it, but maybe he shouldn't have touched. Maybe he shouldn't have taken a touch. I don't know, but I don't think he's ready to start. He shouldn't be starting, and that's not his fault. That's not Bergvall's fault personally. That's the club's fault for having to start an 18-year-old game in, game out. Yeah.
So Scott said, Matty, that maybe a loan to somewhere like Germany, something like that for Bergvall to maybe, you know, get him to the level of men's football. Do you know what I mean? Because he's a technical player, Matty. We can see he's got bits and pieces about him. But Scott may be right there, because maybe it's just a little bit slower there because we play at 100 mile an hour, don't we, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's probably better for him to go to a championship, or for him to go to like the championship. I think would be better because it's a bit more in it, and he'll learn a bit more. I think.
Yeah, that's a great comment, mate. Hello, Mark. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How about yourselves?
Yeah, we're all good, mate.
Yeah, all's good.
Just going through the rundown so far. Mark, general thoughts today. Just we've only done 2 questions. General thoughts on the game, and what are you thinking of Bergvall today and generally?
Which one do you want first? First of all, the game today is another rinse and repeat again after again. We've seen the same game over and over and over and over again. Yeah. I don't know how many times we have to see it. It's just the same pattern of play. Overrun, a number of shots against us, nothing changes. As for Bergvall, I would have liked him see him originally on loan for a year in the Championship and bought some quality players in instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
100%. 100%. I said just before you come on, I got nothing against signing all the youngsters, but they should have been in addition to quality, proven, first-team ready players that would have improved us immediately.
We should have bought the likes of Eze's, the Tillerand. We should have bought 3 quality players and added these youngsters as well, and put obviously 2 of the youngsters, Gray and Bergvall, on loan.
Yeah. Did you all think his team selection was the right one today, or would any of you have changed anything? You know, Maddison not being, we didn't have a creative player as such on the pitch. We had Bergvall, but no Maddison. What are your thoughts on that today?
I would have first of all started more over Odobert, and then I would have probably played Sarr, Bergvall, Maddison in midfield, and the defence was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Scott, what do you think about that, mate?
Yeah, I would start Maddison. I don't know what's going on, why he hates starting Maddison so much, but I think Maddison is the one. Other than that, it's hard. I assume Romero was healthy to go, so you got to start him at some point without knowing the injury situation on some players. But Maddison is the one where I don't get what he has to do. I guess maybe the argument is that you're saving him for Alkmaar, but he hasn't played that many games, Maddison. It's not like he's run ragged, and we keep playing Porro and resting everybody else. Porro's the one that needs more of a break than anyone. So, but I think, Maddison's the one for me. I would have liked to see him start in midfield, especially with no Kulu there. Sarr, Bissouma, Bentancur, it's a lot of same. No real creativity, nobody there to kind of get the attack going. So I would like to see Maddison.
Yeah.
To me, I was going to say, to me, it's pretty obvious that Maddison's fallen out with Ange. You know, he's always the scapegoat. Always. You know, if someone's going to see bench time, it's always Maddison.
Yeah.
Never Bergvall. Never Bergvall, Bissouma. Well, they do see a bit of bench, but if anyone's going to be dropped, it's always Maddison. I honestly believe that they've had a big fallout.
Wasn't Bentancur today as well? Bentancur was terrible today, wasn't he? Absolutely awful performance. I mean, he knocked the ball 3 times out of play. Passing to someone, it just went out of play. It's just madness, absolute madness. I just don't know what's going on with it all. He's.
I said it for ages. Maddison's our key player. If we exploit him into the right position, then he can play really well. But when we're playing him with Kulusevski, Solanke, Son, and everyone's drifting into his position, he's not as good as he should be. But I don't know why he's not starting. He should be. But I mean, I'd rather see him start versus Alkmaar than today, because the league doesn't matter anymore. But yeah.
What about Odobert today, people? He did a little bit first half, but didn't see him second half.
No.
Doesn't know how to get past the player.
And you'd think with his pace, he would be able to, Matty, wouldn't you? Because I don't know if you call him fast, but he's explosive, isn't he? He can, from a standing start, he can run the kid, but he don't never seem to go past anyone. But none of our players seem to do that at all. We want to walk it in all the time, don't we? It's got to be played across the box for someone to be running in at the back post to tap it in. That seems to be our game, unless we get a penalty or skew one in from the edge of the box on the right-hand side. You know, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Next one for me I've got to talk about, because I thought he was rubbish today, even though he didn't get any service, was Solanke. I mean, he was another one. He was awful. That's the only word I can use. You know, it was 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. I mean, thoughts on that, chaps? Excuse me, Mark.
There was a
1 minute.
There was a discussion the other day on one of the channels, and somebody who was defending Solanke was talking about how he does so much else other than just score goals. And I didn't see any of that today. And to be honest, I haven't seen that much. I think he gets a lot of credit for supposedly doing stuff away from the ball and not scoring. And I have to say, I want to see more of what that is. I think he gets a lot of credit for what people think he does, what he doesn't actually do. And today, his hold-up play was terrible. I didn't see him pressing, maybe not fully on him, because I think overall the pressing was really poorly. It wasn't organized well. I think when you saw Bournemouth, the way they pressed, it was so much more effective. And I didn't have much hope. I didn't have very high expectations for Solanke. And I think I'd say he's not disappointed me, but he's kind of living up to why you've seen he hasn't been able to kind of fit in at a bigger club. Why we're the biggest, why he had, I know he was younger, but why he didn't fit in at Chelsea, he didn't fit in at Liverpool. And now why he's probably not going to go anywhere past us as the biggest club, because he's just limited in what he can do. And yes, he needs maybe more service, but I don't really see what he does even if he got that service, because when he gets the service, he doesn't do much with it.
We've paid 65 million for a player that is that's a Chelsea, a Liverpool reject. He had one good season at Bournemouth, and we've splashed out 60 million on him. I don't understand that. But I have to go. I'm so sorry. I might come back later.
That's fine. That's fine, Matty.
See you in a bit, mate.
Yeah, big up, mate.
Yeah, again, anyone who wants to come on, Mark will put the link again in the chat.
I just have it here, look.
Yeah, there you go. Anyone wants to come on, just click on that link and come and have your say. Come and have your say, because we need to talk about it, because at the end of the day, there's not a lot changing. So
no,
I know we've just got to get on with it, and it seems like we're talking about the same stuff every week, because the manager just will not change.
Yeah,
he's got that squad into playing one way, and it's one way only. It's one way or the highway. And
what really frustrates me, though, is if he'd come in and he had a few teething problems, but we were seeing a general progression in that direction, you know, I'd be fine with it, you know. But since he come in, it sort of went woof like that for 10 games, and then it's, you know what I mean? And there's not even little bumps in the road where we go up a little bit.
Yeah,
because
he's breaking records in the wrong way.
He is, you know. Yeah, you know, it's
go on.
If we'd have seen just little glimpses of progression for like 5 or 10 games where we went on a little upward thing, but we get the tiniest of bumps where we might win a game, and then it's back to square one and we're losing every bloody week again.
Yeah,
you know, there's no progression under this manager whatsoever. In fact, I'd say we're getting worse.
Oh yeah.
We're getting worse game on game. Like today was absolutely awful. Bournemouth were in after 15 seconds when Romero gave the ball away.
Well, Mark, I said 10 games or so ago, I said we'd played about 30 in all competitions by then. I said, how many games does people think we actually played well in the 30? I could come up with maybe 5 in 30 games that we've actually played well in. How many times we played rubbish in? It's every week.
Yeah. It's like I said, that, you know, I mean, I hate using him as an example, but he is the only example I can think of. When Poch come in, yes, there was a sticky beginning, and there was a sticky beginning. Let's bring Nigel in.
I think if you want an example, Mark, and you don't want to use Poch, is Iriola. He came in at the exact same time as Ange. I think they were like a week apart or something like that, right? Iriola, I think the first 7 games they lost. Since then, they've been going up, like we're talking about. You can see at Bournemouth why. It's the exact opposite. He struggled at first, he took time, and now you can see that the players are kind of understanding the system. I think today, what we've been talking about a lot is that midfield. Bentancur, Bissouma, and Sarr have been here the whole time Ange has been here, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
They've been here in the midfield. They've been playing his system. Like, nobody can say they're new, they don't understand the system. They understand Ange's system. They played today and were awful. If you didn't know anything about Spurs and you said, hey, these guys, this is their first game playing under this manager, you would believe it. And I think that's what's kind of damning about him, is that he had three midfielders, 2 of them, Bissouma and Bentancur, who are experienced players, have been playing his system for almost 2 years now. And in a game like today, they look like they had no clue what they were supposed to do out there.
Yeah.
That, to me, kind of says it all about him as a manager.
Do you know what? Do you know what I feel very sorry for is, though, because obviously when Ange's come in, he's had a massive clear out. We need a massive clear out again. All our midfielders need to go. We need another clear out. We've not got one decent winger in 5 or 6 of them. None of our midfielders, apart from Maddison, are worth anything. We need another clear out. We need another 7 or 8 players in for next season. Hopefully, when Ange goes, we'll get some in. But at the moment, we need a massive clear out again, because, as you guys know, we hold on to these players far too long, keep giving them contracts year after year when they're clearly not up to it at all. Clearly, this midfield is not good enough. We need to change next season if we need to progress.
Yeah.
Mark, do you think the players, and all of you, sorry, Nige, welcome to you, mate. Nice to see you. To all of you, do you think, let's change the scenario about a bit. If you change the managers round today, let's say Ange was manager of Bournemouth and Iriola was the Spurs manager today, and that team went out on that field, do you see a different performance from an Iriola, from a Silva, from a Thomas Frank, from whoever? It doesn't matter who it is, because to me, if you named 100 managers, and you'd be the 100th one on the list because he's that bad, you know? But, you know, if Iriola's coaching us today, are we better? Are we tactically more sound? Have we got a system for our players to play in? I don't know. Go on, lads. I'm just trying to change
Absolutely.
it up. So we just got
100%.
You know?
100%. I mean, take the first goal, for example. Porro inverting, then plays a really poor pass, totally wipes him out of the game. We've got 3 central midfielders. Not one of them comes across the cover. Literally, who was it? Kirkes had the freedom of North London to pick out a pass. Great cross. Spence at the back post asleep as well. But with another manager, Porro wouldn't have been in that position. You know, and we would have had a midfielder to come across the cover. I couldn't believe that, okay, Porro played a really poor pass. But I couldn't believe out the 3 central midfielders we had, not one of them was in the right area to come across and cover. Or at least take Romero's place so Romero could come across and cover.
Yeah.
He had all day to pick a pass out.
Yeah. I agree with you. We said earlier, though, Nigel, what a cross that was, wasn't it? What a cross. That was like, that was a peach.
Really good player.
Absolutely.
Nigel's bang on. Like that pass, from Porro was bad. And that's not Ange's fault. That wasn't but players make bad passes all the time. So he made that bad pass. What shouldn't then happen is that your whole defensive structure is out the window because he makes a bad pass in their half. And then he gets, as Mark said, I don't know, by the end of the stream, it might be he had 200 meters to run free, but 60 meters to run free, right? That's the real, like, the Porro pass was terrible, but it shouldn't mean that you now get 60 meters to run up untouched, unchallenged, because there's nobody there. And the reason why that wasn't because players were missing, is because Porro was inverted so much inside that there was no right back where a right back should be there, and that he doesn't have players come over to cover in that space in his system. We've seen it all year round. So, you know, as many people will say, oh, Porro, he made an individual mistake, you can't blame it on Ange, but it was what happened after that mistake. Like, if your system means that nobody can make mistakes, that's crazy. Like nobody has a system. Every team makes mistakes. City makes mistakes.
Yeah.
The Galactico Real Madrid team makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's the manager's job to make sure that those mistakes aren't critical to you. And for us, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, on another day, we could have easily lost 5 or 6-0. I'm just rewatching the game. I just nipped out for a bit. 15 seconds they had a one-on-one with the keeper. 15 seconds into the game. I mean, Romero passing with his wrong foot across the box with the pressing, not looking to go forwards, looking to go sideways again. That again is on Ange. This sideways movement, ball passing between the centre backs rather than looking forward, looking at the left back and the right back. Bombing, I think 15 seconds in the game, but how many times was it Ipswich we played? And there was also another straight from kickoff and nearly another goal. This is just suicide football. As someone said, it's like Ozzy Ardiles on speed, this is, but without the quality of goals at the other end.
Does anyone think we'd be better with a 4 in midfield? Because I know we're sort of playing this 4-3-3 thing. But do you think the 3 in midfield have got too much to do? Because when you think about it, the 3 up front, they're not really dropping off. They are literally forwards. So Johnson's not working back. Son's not really working back. He does from time to time, but not really. And basically, you've got those 3 midfielders covering that whole area, box to box.
Yeah.
Like for me, not in his system, but I think a serious manager would be looking at what we've been doing for the past 2 years and go, do you know what? I think we need another one in there. Because I think they've got too much area to cover with the tactics that he wants to play. And David's dead right. David Clark at the bottom here. The second comment from the bottom. Everyone pushes up, everyone inverts or people invert. And then all of a sudden, when you lose the ball, you got 2 at the back and you're knackered.
Yeah.
That is basically what happens every time when we've got the ball pushing forward. Now, I just wanted to ask everyone, we lose the ball an awful lot. And I'm not talking about 30-yard passes or 20-yard passes. I'm talking about a lot of the time when we're, I don't know, edging up the field when we've got the ball because we take forever to get up there because we're sideways passing. What are your thoughts on us giving the ball away in small areas so often? Because that's another thing for the last, 18 months, whatever it is. We have done that an awful lot. Silly passes. Now, you can blame it on the 100-mile-an-hour tactics, and I get that. But surely, as a professional footballer, you should be able to be making 5 and 10-yard passes 99% of the time without giving it away. What are your thoughts on that, chaps?
I think it's because we do everything at that million miles an hour standard that in the end, the million miles an hour just bounces off one of our players and it just goes to one of theirs. It's so rushed. We got no one in the team that can stick their foot on the ball and have a look.
Yeah.
Did you notice how Bournemouth pressed us today?
Oh, yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Pressed in packs, Mark, didn't they?
Yeah.
It wasn't just one at a time. There was 2, 3, or even 4 pressing on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Anyone else want to comment on that about giving the ball away?
I think confidence is really low as well. I don't think that helps. I think Mark's right. We do play at 100 miles an hour and everything has to be quick. I don't think we got the quality of players to be able to do what Ange wants them to do. Ange's tactics are crazy anyway. I just think the players are just shot of confidence. They don't believe in the manager, a lot of them. And I think they take the easy way out or try to take the easy way out. And thing is, it only takes one player to misplace a pass and then suddenly it tends to create absolute chaos in the Spurs team. I don't know why. It was almost like it feeds into every player. If one player makes a mistake, the next player make one, the next player make one. I don't know what it is, but it is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nice. Scott, what do you think about that? short passing in general.
Yeah, I think whenever you watch us play, we're not really set up to work well together, in those kind of triangles that a lot of teams use. I think he said it at one point before the game. I can't remember which game. It might have been the Bournemouth game. He wants the chaos, right? We want chaos. And I think when you kind of say that, you want to play at that in that way, then you're going to struggle to make those plays because people aren't going to be where they are supposed to be in a more traditional setup. And it's not surprising. I don't think any of us are surprised that we see that we struggle with that because there never seems to be a plan. There's so many times where these players look like they just stepped on the pitch for the first time or just met each other 5 minutes before the game started. And it's just all, I think, goes back to the plan. When you say, we want chaos, we want it to be chaotic, well, then that's what you're going to get, especially when you're playing at a Premier League level where the managers you're playing at are the best in the world. And their tactics, they're going to have their players set up tactically right. They're not going to be the holes there for you to exploit. Defensively, the players are going to be where they want to be. And even in small cases, small passes, it's going to be a problem. So I know it sounds like we're saying the same thing, and I keep saying it goes back to the tactics and the setup, but it really does. And that's the problem we have.
You got any thoughts on that, Mark?
Yeah, mate. Well, where do I begin? As I said, I came in to watch the second half because I was watching my lad playing football. I've turned it on, and in 4 minutes, I've seen 3 shots against our goal. 4 minutes gone. It could be 3-0 down here. I mean, the passing thing, the amount of times I see it just, our players just pass it off for a throw on. Not even to a man, not even to their man, just straight off the pitch for a throw on.
Yeah.
So whether in 2 years they've not actually practiced the passing, like those little goal areas that you see the strikers shoot into while practicing and this, that, and the other. Yeah. I just wonder, are we actually practicing the passing? Is this something we actually do? Because it just doesn't seem like we're doing anything of this. I mean, going off a bit of a tangent, I thought the whole thing was this Ange ball was to overload the fullbacks into the centre. Well, how many goals has our fullback scored from the box, inside the box? 1, 2 goals. Yeah. So you're conceding 20 or 30 with the fullbacks not being in the right position to score 2 goals. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
What concerns me a lot is how easily we get split open.
Yeah,
I know it's going to the tactics as well, but even if you watch, I don't know if you remember when we was playing Alkmaar on Thursday, they were going down the right-hand side, Alkmaar, and they put together about 7 or 8 1- and 2-touch passes, and we couldn't get near them. Yeah. It was like we was kids, and it reminded me a bit again today. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't know if we've got too many kids in the team. But then today, I say that, today, who did we have? Only Bergvall and Odibert were the only 2 young ones out there. I'm trying to think. But yeah, we give the ball away too much. Yeah. Why have we not got anyone that just at some stage in the game when it is all hectic that can just go, lads, just calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Let's just put that foot on the ball. Do you know what I mean? I know, like Scott said, it's all about chaos for Ange, but surely there's someone somewhere is thinking, I'm just going to put my foot on the ball here, get them all to calm down a little bit. Let's just slow it down and get to playing football. But it's like, whoom, the other teams, whoom, and the other teams, we're whoom. It's just end to end all the time, isn't it? There's no nothing in between.
I think we have got a player like that. Trouble is he doesn't play enough, and that's Maddison.
Yeah.
He doesn't play enough. You saw when he come on today, there was a few times he got the ball, and I was thinking of I can't remember his name. I was thinking of Eugene when he did this, and he got the ball and he twists and he turn, and then you think he's going to play it, and he twists back in, but he's looking for a pass. He's looking to slow things down or the player passing, and there's no one available for him. And sometimes he will just slow it down. But the trouble is the rest of the players are then playing quickly. You can tell Maddison's getting really frustrated, and I just don't think he fits Ange's system. I think because he wants to slow the game down, because he is the one who wants to keep the game ticking. I just don't think Ange likes him in the team.
He's definitely fell out with him, I think. You know, because
I don't know whether it's a falling out. I just don't think he suits Ange's system the way Ange wants to play. Because Ange likes the chaos, whereas Maddison would want to slow the game, would want to keep the game ticking over. You know, wants to control the game. I don't think Ange wants that.
Well, I think who was on the bench? Was it Maddison against Alkmaar when they lip read him? And he said it's just the same thing over and over again. You know, so if he's saying that, you know, he must know what's going on the inside for him to be saying that. If you get what I mean, he's like, I don't know. It's like Scott said, he just wants chaos, doesn't he? He just wants chaos.
I think, Mark, we're missing it like a player too, and in terms of the skill, who has the ability to do it, but also the mentality. I think it's what we're missing. I love Sonny, but we don't have a player in our team that seems to be that leader that would do it, like would say that. Like, let's just slow it down. Like, I think Nigel's right. Maddison will do that and kind of do those moves, but I don't think he's one who's also going to say to everybody, like, boys, let's all just take a minute here. And I think it's what we're really missing. And usually, if you're looking now, I know like a Rodri's obviously the best at it, but a Rodri, Declan Rice, a Fabinho, who was there at City before, even a Jordan Henderson or Fernandinho, Thiago Alcantara, these kind of players that we see in Enzo Fernandez, whether you like him or not, but like these kind of players who you traditionally have been I would say more of a modern six in terms of your six now has to be able to control the ball like that. He's also kind of the leader on your team. And it's just something that we're missing overall. A player in terms of the skill set he has and a player with that mindset that's going to say, boys, let's just take a minute down. And if you've ever watched any of the watch-alongs over on Sava's channel, everybody here who's seen it will hear him say after a goal from the other team or after a goal, even if we score, or after the half, he says, nothing silly here, boys. Nothing silly. And how many times you hear him say that? And we have nobody on the pitch saying that for us. Nobody, I don't think any of our players, and certainly not the manager, is saying, let's just have 5 minutes of calm. 5 minutes where we're not necessarily going to score, but you know what? They're not going to score either. Yeah. And we have never have that. We never have that at any point in the game.
Robbie, welcome. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. What are your thoughts on today, Robbie, and just generally on our performance today?
I was just listening to you lads, and I agree with a lot of what you're all saying. Personally, I thought we were really poor. Really poor. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on social media, a lot of people saying, oh, we performed well, you know, and came back towards the end. And I just don't understand it. I'm not letting the scoreline fool me, because I watched men against boys today for most of the game. I watched a Bournemouth team who, when they pressed, were structured. When they pressed, were organised. When they defended, were hard to break down. And I watched a Spurs team do the same thing we've done every single week. I was saying in a few Spurs group chats, it's so easy to score against us. If you can win it off us in transition and quickly play it to the wings, because our fullbacks have inverted, there's no one out there. So, you know, looking at that first goal, matey boy, I think it was Kirkes who ripped in the cross. He's got acres of space there to decide what he wants to do. And it's just so poor from us. It's the same stuff we've seen every week. Look, positives, I mean, there aren't many. I thought Maddison, when he came on for the first time, actually found the ball to the wingers, which led to that penalty. But, I mean, even the first goal, it was one of the best accidental goals I think I've seen in a long time. I feel so disheartened now watching the club. I'm watching us score that second goal. And, you know, even a couple of years ago, whilst I felt disconnected from the club, I'd watch the games with my dad and I'd get up and I'd celebrate the goals. Whereas now I don't even react. I just don't feel the emotion when Spurs score at the minute. And I think a lot of that's down to the football we play, the fact we're not really playing for anything, and this manager and his tactics. It was the worst Spurs performance I've seen since Thursday.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's shocking. What we got to do, chaps, to get out of this rut? Is there anything? Is there anything the players can do apart from Ange getting sacked? Are we just stuck with this now until he's not here anymore?
Yeah.
Yes.
The simple answer is yes, isn't it? So, what does he do to I don't know, keep himself in a job for Thursday? Do we beat Alkmaar? Are they that poor that we're going to beat them at home, as poor as we are?
I think if Madison starts, that we'll beat them. I think if Madison does not start, we will not beat them. Maybe that's too simplistic, but I do think that, like you said, look, credit to them. Every team is tough, blah, blah, blah. But they're not. We should not be losing to AZ Alkmaar. That's not a team that we should be going out to, especially when we're not going all out in the league. It's not like we are. We're going all in the league and we're burning ourselves at two ends of the candle. Like, that's a team that we should beat. But I do think the way that I've seen us play, I don't see how we beat them if James Madison isn't starting and playing the majority of the game.
But we're going to have to score 3 goals because they're 1 up. We can't defend, so they're going to score at least 1, so we'll have to score 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't look at...
That's why I think Madison has to be there, Mark, because I don't see how we're doing that.
100% agrees. You can't leave your best GA on the sideline. You just can't do it. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. He's got to play on Thursday. There's no doubt about that. You know, again, David's right with his bottom comment. I don't know if I can get this up or not. There you go. Alkmaar coach have done their own work on Spurs system. Everyone does though, David. Now, don't know they've got it all worked out. You know, it's true.
They've got a lead to hold, haven't they? They've got something to defend.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can sit in a low block and catch us on the break, because that's probably going to be the best way of catching us, because they will open us up. There's no doubt about that. But for me, there was a few positives today. The positives are that, as bad as he was, Romero got some minutes in the legs. Van der Ven got some minutes. And as bad as Solanke was, he got 90 minutes. So hopefully they'll all start Thursday and they can't be any worse. So that's the only positives I'd take. And I think we should beat them.
Who's your front 3 going to be, though? I generally don't know who's the front 3 going to be. I generally could not tell you at this time who's going to be the front 3 to score the 3 goals, hopefully, that we go through.
But he'll play Solanke. Yeah.
Sonny and Johnson.
That's what I mean.
I think it'll be Solanke, Johnson, and Odegaard. That's what I reckon. Same front 3 as today. I really wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that.
Mikey Moore got no chance of getting in the team on Thursday, do you think? No. Or in the squad?
He should, but I mean, the fact he wasn't even on the bench today and then you realise he's not injured or anything, it's like, he's such a young talent. It's so exciting. For me, he's just really being let down. I think the academy players right now are getting a real kick in the teeth. You know, we're constantly signing foreign youngsters and not giving them a chance, the academy lads. So if you're a parent and your son gets scouted by Spurs right now, if I was a dad, much as I love the club, I'm not letting my son go and play for this academy. So what? So they can be loaned out 5 times, not given any game time and career down the drain? No, not a chance.
That's a fair comment, Robbie. That's a fair comment, mate. Does everyone believe that we'll get through on Thursday, or is it going to be tight? Or I don't know what you thought, because I just think, as I agree with Scott, Alkmaar are 6th in the Dutch league. They're nothing special. They've gone on a bit of a unbeaten run since we beat them 1-0. They've beat us again. Well, they've beat us now as well. Have they worked us out? Are they good enough to work out what we are? I know everyone does, if you know what I mean, because we play the same way every week. But is it going to be a case of, like Nige said, we're 1 up, they're going to come and just try and hit us on the counter? Is that basically how it's going to work Thursday, and we're going to have all the ball?
Well, they're going to be stupid not to, aren't they? You know, they know that they're not in theory not as good a team as us, and so they're just going to stick 10 behind the ball, which is basically what they did in the first game, and try and hit us on the break. They're going to be stupid not to do that. And with the amount of space that we leave, especially on our right-hand side, down their left, that's exactly how they're going to hit us again. You know?
Old Poku might have a field day, mightn't he?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. If they go one up in 20, 30 minutes, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
We seriously are good. If we don't score first, we are seriously going to be in trouble Thursday night.
Yeah, I agree. And then even if you get through that, it's what, Ajax or Frankfurt. I mean, I can't see us beating either of them. I'll sit here and say it right now, right? Frankfurt are third in the German league. I don't know where Ajax are, but AZ have beaten Ajax in the cup this year in their little
Ajax is top of the league, I think.
So you got Ajax who are top, or you got Frankfurt who are third against a 12th to 16th place Tottenham Hotspur if they get past Alkmaar. Yet we're favourites for the Europa League.
It should be Lazio, really, shouldn't it? I mean, Lazio on fire. The fact that we're favourites is mad to me. I mean, look, some people still might think that we're going to win the competition, but for me, that first leg, everything I've seen this season, it doesn't matter if we go into the Malmö 6-0 in the second leg. Based on what I saw, you play like that against a better away side in the away leg, you're going to be out of it before you have to come back home. And that's if the home tie's second. I mean, it was on a plate for us. We've got the home tie second, AZ away in the first one. We could have had Sociedad, which on paper is a tougher tie, and just make things far more difficult than they need to be, always at this club. I just think watching that first leg of us this season, I'm thinking, are we actually going to beat a team like Lazio in this competition? Even like a Roma, anyone half decent, any manager who's got a bit of tact will understand. I think they'll work us out. I just don't see us going far at all.
Robbie, you're lagging a bit, by the way, and crackling on your microphone. Just so you know, I don't know if you can do anything about it.
I'll try and come off and come back on.
All right, mate. No worries. Just wanted to let you know.
Cheers. I think it's really the problem we've had, and a lot of people saw in Europa, is it these teams coming from Europe, they don't need to go. They know they don't need to go head to head with us, right? It's not like the Premier League where it's a long season and you need to play, you want to maintain a certain style and you're going to play your style. These are, 2 off legs, right? And now AZ did what they need to do. They get the result at home. Now they know. All they need to do is sit back and play solid and not make any mistakes. And then they're going to have us have to break them down. We have to break them down. We've shown an inability to do it. Yeah. And as Mark said earlier, we have a poor defense. Do we feel confident that even if we can break them down, that we're going to hold them from not scoring at all? Like, we've seen it. We struggle so much with that it looks like we're going to have to score 2-3 goals to get through. And that's why when people are saying, oh yeah, Europe, we should win Europa, we're going to do well in Europa, it was always a concern because we struggle, and the games are a little bit different. These European teams, and I mean, we should know it too, but I find a lot of the time the English teams don't adapt as much as they do because we're the big clubs, right? We don't normally do it. We're the bigger clubs. We shouldn't adapt. And they know we just have to sit back, play a solid game. Their managers will have them set up. Their manager will have them up and ready to go. And they're going to sit back, and we have to be the one to make something happen. Because if nothing happens, they're fine. And that's what was always the concern. And under Ange, we haven't shown a great ability to break teams down when they play like that.
Yeah, I agree with that, Scott. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Mark, any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on Thursday? Like you say, I thought you said, did you say we need to score first, didn't you? Sorry.
I think if we don't score first, if they score, we are really up against it, because over this season we have struggled to break teams with a low block anyway, and with our forward line just not firing or just not the quality we need, I think we're out. I know people said people were very confident we're going to beat Alkmaar last week, and I was like, well, have you seen us play? We're dreadful. And I said, if we concede any time, let alone early, it's going to be again a right slog. I just think sooner or later there's going to be a team, Atletico Bilbao, Lazio, whoever, who's going to have our number, and they're just going to destroy us 3-4-0. While we're not going to have them lucky chances of cleared off the line or Vicario making a brilliant save. They're going to have 20 odd shots, and we're going to lose 5 or 6-0, like we did against Liverpool, and we're going to be out. So sooner or later, some team will have our number. We're not going to win this.
The thing is with it, though, I don't believe our squad is as terrible as what people make out. I think we've got a better squad than Bournemouth. We haven't got the 13th worst or best squad in the league. Yeah. We got about. But no, we did it on our first show, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah.
We went through it, and we sort of put
fifth or sixth,
seventh,
sixth, seventh
squads. Yeah. You know, and all you want as a manager to overachieve, like that probably Nuno is, and that's you in the top 4. You know what I mean? It's the manager that's holding us back, and while he's here, we're going nowhere. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. Our squad is a lot better than where we are in the league and the way we're performing. A lot better.
Put it this way, if we sacked him tonight and got, like we were saying earlier, Scott, an Iriola type, or, someone who can coach, someone who is a coach, who goes on the training ground with the players or has got competent assistants to do that. Because that's another thing. I don't believe that Angie's assistants, Mason, Jedinak, Wells, all that lot, I don't think they're competent enough to do the job.
No. Well, to be honest, right, to me, it says it all with our manager that he never, ever takes any of his staff with him wherever he goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he just assembles a ragtag bunch that he can grab wherever he goes. He's never kept one of his coaching staff wherever he's been. You know what I mean? You only got to look when Conte come in. He had his own collection. Poch's got that Jesus bloke that travels about with him and a couple others. You know what I mean? He's not got... That's because, well, in my opinion, no one believes in him.
Does anyone think the players...
Mark, sorry to jump in. I just have to head out. So I'm just going to say...
No worries, Scott. I've just read your message in the private chat. No worries, Scott. Thanks for coming on.
One final comment. I think I agree with you when you're saying he doesn't coach well. His assistant coaches are questionable what they do. And I think he has a terrible combination of not being a very good coach, but being very arrogant. And I just see he seems to be unable and unwilling to change. And what a terrible combination that you have as a manager, as a coach, to not only be unable to change it, but not even being willing to find solutions. And I think that's why I've been Ange out for as long as I can remember, is that it just seems like not only can he not change it, he doesn't even seem willing to look at it. So thanks, guys. Always great to chat with everybody on the panel, and I'll be listening.
Scott, you're welcome anytime. You know that. Anytime you see a stream, you can always jump on, mate. All right?
Awesome. Great show. Everybody, like and subscribe as always to Nige as well, and to these guys. Thank you.
Cheers, Scott. See you soon. Excellent. So where do we go from here, chaps? Where do we go?
Good evening, Nia.
Evening, Nita. Evening to everyone.
Yeah. Big up everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know where we go. We are an absolute mess at the moment. It's as bad a Spurs team as I've seen in many years. But
it's
Mark
not,
said,
though.
It's not. No, it's not. But then I was doing a watch along with Dan today. We did one on TikTok, and he said to me during the game, "How many of the Bournemouth front three would you take?" And I'd take all of them.
Yeah.
I'd take all the front three. I'd take their centre half. I'd take Kirkis.
Yeah.
So when you say Bournemouth
if we'd have signed them in the summer, our fans would have gone into meltdown. Well, they're not good enough, but you know what it's like.
If you'd have,
I don't know. Not Evan Nilsson. He was hot property, wasn't he?
He looked different gear today, just the little touches, even Ilson. I thought he looks decent today. It's the same with Palace, though. If you said, like we were saying last night, weren't we? If you said, for argument's sake, Guay, Eze, and Mateta. If you said Mateta to anyone at Spurs, they laugh at you.
Yeah.
But he causes carnage. He does what a centre forward should be doing. Do you know what I mean? On and off the ball. You know? So when I'm watching Solanke and I'm thinking 65 million, oh my word. Does it get better for Solanke if another manager comes in? Or is he just average?
I think we put more crosses in, hopefully.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of Solanke's goals last year for Bournemouth were with his head. You know, and we got no one that sticks it on his head. Absolutely nobody. And even if we do cross the ball, it's normally along the floor, about knee height. So we try and create an own goal, carnage. You know, because you stick it in at knee height, it can bounce anywhere. You know, we don't have one crosser of the ball that is likely to put it on his head. Not one.
I felt a bit sorry for Solanke today. I mean, he did very little. I thought his hold-up play was terrible. His touch was terrible, but he's been out for a while, but he had absolutely no service whatsoever. One cross, I think Porro put in the first half when, like a simple header, went straight to the keeper. That was about it. He had nothing to feed off. Everything we had is back to goal every time. It's not what you want as a striker. You want the ball in front of you. Look at the goals he scored. You know, they've been from crosses.
Yeah.
For the most part for Spurs.
Yeah.
But we're just not giving them the service at all.
Mm. And this chap as well, he said it all in his comment here. Tell he's not a striker, he's a I'll call him an inside forward, but they're playing him on the wing, so it is what it is. Odiba hasn't showed anything. I know he's been injured. Son, I think he's over the hill. We all know what we think of Werner and Johnson. And to me, Kulu's not a winger either. He's more of a, you know, I don't know what you'd call it. More of a inside forward, centre attacking midfielder. You know, so he's spot on. We've got all these wingers, but we haven't got any wingers that do what they're meant to do.
Mark, is Angus coming on?
Just bring it.
Come on, Angus.
If you want to come on, Angus, the link's in the chat.
Come on, Angus. Come on.
Angus. Anyone who can come on as long as your camera's on.
The link says somewhere. Here it is. There's the link.
Yeah. Click on the link. Anyone's welcome. There's no, you can't come on in here.
Oh, someone's here.
Here we go. Looks like Angus. Arteta out. Kroenke out. Is he here?
Yeah, here he is. Hello, Angus.
Hello, how are you?
Big up, sir.
You all right, Angus? How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Go on, we'll change tack for a little bit, Angus. I didn't watch it all, but what happened with your lot just now?
Same shit, different day. No world-class striker up front. Missed all them chances. If we had a proper striker, we batter Man United. Simple as that.
That's the one thing I've never understood about you is blatantly obvious. Even the rest of us lot on this panel who are extremely jealous of your lot, mine. Right? We can see that all you need is a striker. We can see that.
No, we need more than that. We need more than the striker. We need a new left winger. We need a winger. We need an attacking mid. And I hate to say it, maybe we need another centre back because if Saliba actually does go, we're fucked.
There is that, Angus. There is that, mate. And do
you know
think
what I mean?
He's going to go then, Angus? Do you think he's going in the summer?
It depends on how much Real Madrid pay for him.
What's he worth to you, Angus?
He's priceless. To me, he's priceless because we haven't had a centre back like that since Sol Campbell.
It'd have to be 150 million,
He's
wouldn't it?
that good.
It'd have to be something ridiculous. Wouldn't it?
Yeah. He's going to go down as the most expensive defender ever.
Yeah.
To get him out of the club, he's going to have to go down.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I love him, mate. Saliba, I think he's great.
Yeah. Right, Mark. Daniel Knight, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Problem
fine. Daniel can come on if he wants to. Yeah, it's not a problem.
Yeah, come on then, mate.
Whenever you want to come on, Daniel, just click the
Yeah,
link.
but if you're going to come on, I'd do it now, mate, because we're only allowed 6 on.
Yeah.
Well, I got to hop off in a sec anyway.
All right.
Oh, have you?
No
I got dinner to make, and I know Dan's coming on in a minute, so I want to make room for him.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Okay.
That's great. Thanks
So
for coming.
I will pop off. That's all right. I'll pop off, but make sure you like and sub, please. There's a lot of people in the room, so let's get them over 300.
Have you recovered from that hill yesterday?
Yeah. I was a bit rough this morning.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I wasn't even drinking that much in the evening.
How many did you have yesterday then in the pub?
Not many.
Enough for me. I'm like that. 4 pints on anyone's.
Yeah, well,
Jesus. That's why he's stone cold. You got to keep up with him.
Well, yeah, I was smashing them together.
Jeez, I thought you was as well. I thought you would be.
We conquered Mount Froome, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a bit hilly, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness, yeah, Jesus! I was really dead by the time we got in that pub at the top of that hill.
As long as you
anyway, guys, much love.
Thanks,
Hello,
guys. We'll speak soon, mate.
Take care, guys.
See you soon, mate. See you soon.
Peace.
Oh dear. So, are you done now then, Angus? Is the league gone now, as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, 16 points. 16 points. We're done.
It's done,
16 points. It's done.
There's only about
It's
10
done.
games. Is there 10 games left?
Yeah, it's finished, isn't it?
Liverpool only need 5. Liverpool 5 wins and the title is done. Like
one against us, so that's a win.
Yeah, that's 4 you only need.
Do you know what?
What they need. Go on.
That summer window, if we actually did buy the players, this league would have been ours. This league would have been ours because Liverpool have been very lucky this season with the injuries we've had.
Yeah. So
that's just my opinion.
Just what you put it down. If you'd have had a centre forward, Angus, how many more points would you be closer to Liverpool? Would you be above them?
At least 10, 15, isn't it? 12, 16.
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be 4 wins, isn't it?
No, I reckon we'd be a point behind them if we had a proper striker.
Well, yeah, 15 points.
I reckon we'd be a point behind them if we had a proper striker.
No, that's what I was saying. Like the whole, you ain't even got to be an Arsenal fan to see that Arsenal need a striker desperately.
But the thing is, though, having a striker is not our only problem. It's the manager.
What tactics again, Angus?
That's a problem as well.
Is it tactics with him, Angus, or what's he doing wrong for you? Oh, we know all about that, mate. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Stubborn.
Well, I'd still swap him with our manager any day of the week.
Don't know, man.
Mark, I'll give him for free. I will give him for free if you want him. Come take him.
Bloody hell, man.
Because I think he goes anywhere in the summer because I don't think he's going to get on with Bertha.
Jesus, man. Would you seriously have Ange? Would you seriously have Ange? Seriously?
Hell no.
Well, no, exactly. That's why I said.
Hell no.
That's why I said I'll swap out.
Hell no.
Day of the week.
Mark, I had Ange at Celtic. I don't want Ange again. I do not want Ange again. I've dealt with him before. I do not want him again.
Yeah, but
you did say, Angus, you did say a long time ago, didn't you? Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I was, to be honest, the very first day you signed Ange, I warned you all, but you didn't listen.
Some of us did, Angus, but there's a lot that didn't.
Good on.
There's a lot of us that didn't. Oh dear, it's just it just fries my brain, man. It fries my brain. Would any of you have?
There's one game particularly you need to go and watch, and that is Celtic versus Real Madrid. Watch that, and then you know how stubborn Ange is. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. Would any of you have played Archie Gray today in midfield?
I'd play with bloody defence.
I
I'd
mean,
have played him in bloody defence instead of Romero.
that's not going to happen, is it? But
No,
The
but
world class Romero.
well, no, he's not, is he?
he was shocking today.
I know, but a lot of you fans say he is.
Oh,
Well,
he was.
A lot of you fans say because he's won the World Cup, he's world class.
Yeah. Well, Scott's gone, Angus, but he said he might come back. He might come back to say hello to you.
No, he's a twat. He's such a
Oh, here
twat.
we go. Yeah, here we go.
Got to say hello to Daniel. We forgot about Daniel because I can't see his face. Daniel, where are you?
Yeah, you all good, yeah? They got my Angus as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What do you think
good.
about
So you got my guy. How are you,
I
mate?
just want to talk about that. Yeah, I'm all good. I just want to talk about that crap that we've seen the last, well, not just today, the last few months since, well, not actually in the last few months, basically the last 18 months since he's been here, man. I was one of the first people wanting to give this guy a chance when he first came in. Even though Angus will know as well, I like Rangers as well, so I knew about Ange before he came here in the first place. I might have a bit of bias because I'm straight on some. I'll say I like Rangers as well, but this guy has not really gone up against any top level managers in his career. And I said about this from the day he come in, yeah, that as soon as he comes to the Premier League, you're going to see him get exposed, yeah, because his system will not work in this league. And everyone keeps telling me it will work with a Man City. This system will not work full stop in the Premier League, yeah? Because this guy does not adapt unless he's put in a situation where he's got 11 injuries and he's forced to drop a line back. As soon as you get the players back, you see the exact same thing happen again. The losing culture is embodied now in the whole squad since this injury crisis now. That even with the players coming back here, you will not see any improvement in results. And the thing is as well, is that the fans who say who want to stick with Ange, all they've got to really hold on to now is the injury excuse. It's the only thing to say he should still be here. There's no, because really now, there's no. I'm not going to dig up Arsenal too much here, but like with Arsenal, yeah, under Arteta, yeah, Arteta had if you look at the first 2 seasons at Arsenal, they might have not done great in the league the first 2 years. I think they finished 8th and 8th. Angus might be able to correct me, yeah. But the first 2 seasons under Arteta, they finished 8th and 8th. But they won an FA Cup, yeah. So there was a bit of progression. It was early, even though it weren't with this squad. There was still a sample size to give you a reason to back Arteta for the first couple of years. There's no sample size in this second season to tell me to give this guy a third year. I thought the other day if we won Europa League, I'd be like, I'll be more open to giving him another season. This football is awful. When people come in the 2 years when he come, people said the football was going to change. That was one of the main reasons why we got rid of Conte in the first place, was we weren't happy with the football. He completely took away from that philosophy his game now. I don't even know what football we're playing now. Because people told me before, like the Ten Hag system at Man United, there was no style of play at all. Now I'm seeing the same sort of style for Tottenham, yeah. This is nothing. The way we're playing now, yeah, there's not attacking, it's not defensive, it's not anything, man. It's literally like we're just passing through games and just waiting to get beat now. That's what I don't understand. And as soon as I wasn't even surprised when the first goal went in today. I was just waiting for it to go in. That's the thing now as a Spurs fan, where you're waiting for the team to score against us. It's like, and when it used to be under Poch, you used to go into games and you'd be confident we were going to win matches. Now I go into every game, yeah, at home to Bournemouth. Bournemouth have been played well this season, don't get me wrong. But I'm going home to going to games at home to Bournemouth now thinking, don't lose 3 or 4-0. What is that about? At home to Bournemouth. No Spurs, we should not have that mentality as a fan to even want to be scared about that, yeah? But that's how this guy has got me thinking that we're going to lose at home 3 or 4-0 to Bournemouth. So I mean, I'm never ever. That's at a stage right now where that in sense. And if we lose to Southampton, we'll probably beat Southampton, but we've not played Southampton yet at home. If we lose to Southampton, he'll be probably the first ever guy that I can remember in my lifetime, yeah, that would have lost at home to all the 3 promoted clubs when they come up. We've lost at home to Leicester. We've lost at home to Ipswich. If we lose at home to Southampton, yeah, what manager at any top club in the Premier League, yeah, loses at home to the 3 promoted clubs? You lose away to them maybe at their ground in the season when they come up. You do not lose at home. That's literally Ipswich have beaten us at Argath. Leicester have beaten us at Argath, and if Southampton somehow managed to beat us at Argath, I could imagine us breaking probably a record. Like, I can't imagine Spurs have probably even done that in the Premier League season. Lost to the 3 promoted clubs who have come up here at our home ground in the same season. And they're probably all going to go straight back down as well, them 3 promoted clubs as well. That's how bad it is as well. Like, but I don't want to come across as like some Spurs fans who like to defend him now, but I look at any Spurs fans who are defending this now. It's either they're too emotionally invested in this manager, or they do not want to admit they're wrong because they've gone to the other side and they've defended him for too long. And they do not want to go back now to the other side and admit that they were wrong. And I understand that. Sometimes you just have to hold your hands up here and admit you were wrong about a guy. And this guy had clearly not good enough to manage his football club. Clearly not good enough to manage his football club, man.
I just want to say, Daniel, first time on.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. Spot on. Absolutely.
Spot on. You're welcome on here anytime speaking like that. There's a question here for you from Ellie. Are you the chap that calls Talk Sport?
I've not listened to Talk Sport in ages. Like, there's someone who goes on Talk Sport. It sounds like me, yeah. Now I'm the one who bloody Jonesy's chat who's second in the world. I was second to the Predictions League until I had a shocker this weekend. I don't even want the handy points I got in the Predictions League. Probably wasn't good. I probably about 3 or 4, mate. I had a shock. There's some right weird results. There's some right weird results this weekend.
TJ, my brother.
TJ's not going to be happy, man. I know TJ's not going to be happy. TJ, we'll come to you as you've just joined. Come on, man, give it to us today. What can you say? Try and give us a bit of positivity, man, because we've been on here for an hour and 21 minutes and we've had very little. So you can do the negative stuff as well, man. We're here for it all. Trust me.
Well, if you know me, I'm overly negative. I didn't want him to come in when he first come in. You know, my ideal replacement or person that would be the perfect manager for Tottenham would have been Poch. So I was against him coming into Tottenham. If you want me to be positive, yes, Haz, how you been? Vicario saved us. He's been saving us for a few weeks now, so that's a bit of positivity, you know. But I can tell these players are not playing for him. A lot of people are going to disagree because we managed to pull it back to 2-2. But let's be honest here. Them 2 goals were very, very, very lucky. Yeah. Papa Sarr's goal, I believe it was a cross. I don't even think he went for it because I don't think he's that type of player. I thought he crossed it in and it was an overcut cross and it went into the back of the net.
Yeah.
Son, but this is football now, man. You just dive whenever you want to dive.
That was never a pen.
Yeah, man.
That was never a pen.
The game has gone weak. Let's be honest with you. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days. You get where I'm coming from. The game's gone weak. So it was 2 lucky goals. But the way Bournemouth played, especially that first half, we could have been 4 or 5-0 down.
It could have been 3 at half time.
It was terrible.
It could have been 1 after 15 seconds.
You should have been 1-0 down after 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
15
seconds. You should have been 1-0 down.
Yeah.
It was not for me. It was terrible. You know, Ange Postecoglou is counting flies right now. I just don't understand why we haven't sacked him. And a lot of people are going to be like, "Yo, we need to give him till the end of the season." I don't see what. Sometimes you see like, okay, cool, maybe he can win this, maybe he can win that. No, I don't see why we're going on. The players are clearly not playing for him. You know, Tottenham is just not Tottenham. I don't enjoy watching Tottenham.
No, it's almost a punishment now. It's almost like a punishment to watch a game now. It really is. It's almost like you've done something wrong, and that's your punishment is to watch it. I don't enjoy it anymore. I really don't.
Midfield was terrible.
Yeah.
Basuma and Bentancur, they have to go.
Yeah.
They have to go. They're not good enough. They're not good enough for this level.
Is it mad that Buddy we're talking like 19 months into his reign and he doesn't even really know his best midfield 3? That's what I mean. How mad is that, man? Literally, when this is a coach of like 25 years of management here, and the midfield is shocking. Like you see in the game against Liverpool the other day when apparently he scored the goal where he was through 1-on-1, where Vicario made to say how easy they just run through our midfield. Our midfield is a big issue in this. any team in the top 6 has an unbalanced midfield like big 6 have unbalanced midfield like us. But so, I mean, we've got serious issues in this, not just as the manager as well, the squad. That's a big problem as well. When the manager does go in the summer, it's going to inherit like a very crap team, in my opinion as well. It's also partly to blame for the sort of players he went and tried to go and sign the summer. Players like Odegaard, players like. So I mean, people like digging up his performance today. What did he really do, man? Other than do a couple dribbles, really, the team. I mean, we're starting to like dig up players. They're doing like the basics now as well, and they're not even doing it really good.
Standards in it, Dan.
Yeah,
it's all about standards. Standards in the club are rock bottom everywhere. The fan standards, the standards on the pitch.
Standards in the football club. Standards in the football club are set from the top.
Yeah.
And there's no standards coming from the top, i.e. Mr. Levy.
It's mine the exact same. My top's the exact same.
No, I agree with you. The standards should start from the top, but I blame the fans. And look, I might get hate for this, and call me out. Look, I have my own channel. You can call my hate. But if the standards of the fans don't change, we will always be like this every single year. What do you expect? Our fan base have already said we're okay with top 4. Previous seasons, look, we had Mourinho and Conte, and as much as you might not like their style of football, as much as their style doesn't suit what Tottenham embodies, because I was told that Conte is too defensive. I was told that Mourinho's too defensive. Forget defensive and attacking, forget the style. Win a damn trophy. Yeah. I'll tell you something about myself. I'm a fairly new fan. Yeah, when I say fairly new, I've been supporting Tottenham for about 12 to 13 years.
Yeah,
I don't really class us 2008 me seeing a trophy because I was too young. The time I started watching Tottenham and religiously supporting Tottenham was under Pochettino.
Yeah,
it's been 16 and a half years since we won a trophy. It's not good enough.
No,
I've not seen a trophy. When I have kids, are they ever going to see a trophy? So this is my point. It starts from the fans. The fan standard should be way higher than this. So anybody that's giving Ange time, anybody that's saying, you know what, Ange in, whatever, the standard has to change. You have to have some sort of standard. Look at all our rivals. In the past 6 or 7 years, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, I'm also adding Leicester, Swansea, and there's another team. All have won trophies.
Portsmouth, Wigan.
They've all won trophies.
Yeah.
So until the standard changes, we're going to always go through the cycle. And look, obviously, I don't have a season ticket. Yeah, but those that pay that much for a season ticket, pay that much for a beer, pay that much for a shirt, go to games, they are accepting this mediocrity.
Yeah.
They are. Generally, they are. Any other fan base that, and look, you're seeing it with United right now. They're protesting, they're saying they want their owners out and all of this and all of that. They're rallying thousands, hundreds of thousands of fans and saying it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Tottenham, it seems like it's good enough for us. And this is the problem. This is where it stems from. If the fans can change their mentality, then we might see a bit better on the pitch. But Levy, look, let's be honest with you. Levy, he's running this team. He's making his money. He's happy.
That's all he's interested in, man.
He don't really care about the football. Because then he can pack out the stadium with the NFL. He can pack out the stadium with the concerts. He can pack out the stadium where he's happy. Football don't matter. That's the problem. And until fans realize that, and I'm talking about, look, we literally 3 weeks ago, I went to the protests. Amazing, around 2,000 fans. There needs to be more.
Yep.
There needs to be more than 2,000.
Yeah.
2,000's not going to change it.
We had 10,000.
Add another 2 zeros, or add another 1 0. That will make a difference.
Yeah.
But until the fans see it, it's going to be the same, you know.
You just got to hope that one that happened, was it a couple of weeks, was it about a month ago? You just got to hope that's the first step to the next one. Hope that the next one, the numbers, got to hope that just now that the numbers rise and rise, every more protest now. Because the only problem, I agree with him. The thing that I worry about this fan base is as soon as we go for a little decent patch of form here, the pressure stops our fans straight away by half this fan base. And it'll just go back to, we'll wait for it to go back for another bad run again before we then start heaping the pressure and then we start going. So as soon as we have, say if we win the Europa League, and then we get Champions League football, and then we're sitting rosy, and then we're in the Champions League again next season, people will be praising our fans, and then saying Levy's done a good job. I know exactly what half this fan base will say. They say, look, we've got a trophy, we've saved this season, and then Levy will come out of this, smelling the roses from this season as well. That's how the fan base thinks as well. So these sort of the only way for like this to get for the fans to really, really, really get a Levy is for this season, these sort of seasons to repeat and repeat and repeat. Because like you can see, even the fans, like the positive fans, just some of the real positive fans are starting to get really, really, really fed up with this season. And that's the only way it's going to keep. If it's something, I'm really worried that. Like, I agree. I'm worried that these sort of protests won't ever like hit the massive numbers we need to like really put pressure on Levy. Yeah, because as soon as we go to like a little good run of form again, some of these fans who were not open to being not open to really wanting to like say Levy out, when Super are like, oh look, he's doing all right. He's done all right for the financial side of the football club off the pitch, not on the pitch. But we won a trophy now. Look, things are starting to look up. We've got a new manager now. Look, we've got our first trophy since 2008. And he got a new manager, and obviously he was patient with him. And look what Arteta's done. He won a trophy for these first 2 years. Andrew's done it as well. We'll automatically just go and start comparing to Arsenal. That's what we'll do as well. We'll say, look, Arteta one saying, Anne's one saying, we should give him more time now. Sort of stuff like that as well. It's what I mean. The fan base is too. I'm trying to think. It's too like reliant on what other clubs is doing as well to make excuses for Ange as well. So when they say, oh look, when I say the Bournemouth excuse earlier the season, I say about Iraola, they're like, oh, we've had quite a similar amount of injuries to them at one stage in the season. They say, well, Bournemouth didn't play Europa League football. Well, what's the whole point of using that as an excuse in the first place then? What were we even aiming to qualify for Europe for then, yeah? If you're then using that as an excuse to say that we play more games than Bournemouth the next season when we have a similar injury crisis. You see what I'm saying? What's the whole point in qualifying for Europe if you're going to then use that as an excuse next season to say, look, we played too many games? And that's why Bournemouth are in a better run with us, even though they've got a manager who knows how to work through a crisis, and knows that has got a system built into his team. So when he has 9 injuries, the players who go in, know what sort of style or system they're just playing. They just slot straight in. These players, they're like, mate, I don't know the system at all, they just don't care. I think it's both, and I don't know what the system is anymore. People like told me when he first come in, it was like, it's going to be, I'll openly admit, I'm one of the people a couple of years ago who said, I don't know if I wanted Conte because the football was dead. At times I thought it was dead, and I don't know if I want to sacrifice trophy. If you can take it back to 2 years now, I openly admit, I'm 100% wrong about Antonio Conte, and he will never, ever, ever have us in this mess, ever in my life. That's what I mean. I will go back to 2 years now and say I was completely wrong about getting Conte out of this club, getting a new manager in. We needed a win now, a mentality manager. This guy is not it, man. This guy's proven why he's not managed in the Premier League until we gave him a job.
I'll tell you a true story now, right? TJ was on about the trophy thing. He's never really seen a trophy, right? Now, I was lucky. Me and Mark were lucky because we sort of grew up. We never saw the real glory days, but we saw a lot of glory days. Like, between 1981 and 1991, I saw 3 FA Cups, right? A UEFA League, a UEFA Cup, Europa League, whatever you want to call it. And we were in 1 more final, is that right, Matt? Or 2 more League Cup finals? I know we lost to Liverpool in about 83.
Yeah, was in that one.
And there might have been another one. And several charity shields as well.
Yeah.
I know that don't really count, blah, 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 blah. But and if someone had told me in 1991, when we won the FA Cup for a record at the time, 8th time, we won the record, in 91. If someone had told me in 1991, when I'd seen it 3 times in 10 years, that would be the last time, I was 20 then, nearly 21. If someone had told me in 1991 that's the last you'll see to your like mid-50s at least, I'd have said, get stuffed. We won it 3 times. You know, we've won it 3 times in the last 10 years. You know, there's no way we're not going to win it before. If someone had said to me, you're not going to win it again to the year 2000, I wouldn't have believed them. You know what I mean? And here we are, 2025, and we still ain't bloody won it since 91.
I don't think anyone, you know, you can go back like TJ's a young lad. He hasn't seen us lift the trophy. And like you said, Mark, we have. It's so difficult. We have never been a team, you know, like an Arsenal, like a Man United, to go out and win the league.
No,
we've never bought squads to do that. It's not happened, right? So that's fine. But at the very least, I think Tottenham fans believe that a trophy now and again, every 3 or 4 years, competing is the main thing. You know, not going out with a whimper in the 3rd round of the cup because you've played 9 reserve players or whatever it is, like you did last year. You know, we got to the semi against Liverpool. Yeah. You know, we won 1-0. All I heard was, don't worry, we'll be all right up there. Do you know what? I guarantee you, when they went out on that pitch for that second leg and they started playing that anthem, they shit themselves.
Well, they did, man. As soon as You'll Never Walk Alone come on, the players shit themselves,
mate.
Yeah.
Shit themselves. But
you shit yourself when you came to the Emirates as well. You absolutely shut the bed when you came to the Emirates as well.
Mate, it's what we do. It's what we do. But going back to...
That's who we are, mate.
I don't think anyone expects us to win a trophy every year or every 2 years. But I think competing, is a minimum for Tottenham. And I would, you know, Angus, you know, you're an Arsenal fan, but at the end of the day, you know, forget this top 6 shit and all that. If you go back a little bit, even as an Arsenal fan, you must say, surely, well, Spurs should win something, I don't know, even if you say every 5 years.
I would have thought you would have won something by now. I would have thought you would have won something by now. But
I don't understand it. It's just like, comes down to mentality at the end of the day, and we've had the best part of Levy's tenure, apart from 2008 winning a League Cup. We've won nothing. And for that to happen, I think it's a disgrace. I've said it many times on here. It's an absolute disgrace. Welcome, Haz. How are you, mate?
Just same old shit was first.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Mark, another time that most worried me for your team was under Poch. Because I really did think you could win something then.
But
especially
then,
that Champions League final.
On the red nap, we were like, how many points off the top that January? 2012?
I remember that. That season we were 3rd. I remember we were doing decent under red nap as well. But like Angus was saying about the last time really the rival fans sort of half respected us is when we had Pochettino. That little period, that little 2007, 15, 16 period to 2018 when we had that real strong team here, where Levy was 2 or 3 quality players away from potentially winning the league. We had
2 or 3. That's what annoys me. 2 or 3.
We had, so I'm saying we had the core of the team already there, man. All we needed to do was add extra bit of spice of quality to the team, and it would have got us over the line in one of them 2 seasons. I know for a fact it would have, man. We have.
How many times have I said that? How many times have I said that, Mark, on this channel?
Yeah, you have plenty of times.
And look at the team there. And look at the team now.
The year Leicester won the league, right, and the season after when Chelsea won the league, the reason that both of them won that league is because neither of them had Europe. Right, where we were in the Champions League both times, right? And well, that's what cost us the league. If Daniel Levy had stuck his hand in his pocket, and given Poch 70 mil, 70, 75, 80 mil, which would have got 3 top players back then, because the prices weren't like they are now.
Yeah, because the market weren't exaggerated like it is now.
No,
But like
no. If we'd have got
like
3 players, right, because you got to remember, we had a brilliant first 11, brilliant. The defence, Toby and Jan, Rose and Walker, Dele Alli, Ericsson. But as soon as any of them, Harry Kane and Son firing, Hugo in goal, prime Hugo as well, not pants Hugo the last few years. But
not piss off your Hugo.
As soon as one of them came out, we had the likes of Eric Dyer, fucking Winks, wasn't it? Was Winks in there then? Skip or something. We had that sort of drop off.
Well.
Yeah, we had that drop off, and if we'd have got even not to the quality of the first team, but more quality than what was on the bench, we'd have won both them leagues. Both.
The problem with the Leicester season is they didn't.
You signed Sanchez as well, and I don't know why you did that.
In January, we didn't sign anyone in the Leicester season.
Well, we went 500 and something days. We went 3 transfer windows without signing a single player.
For me, the window that really pisses me off still is the Sissoko window.
Yeah.
Because that was the window after the Leicester season.
And he was a panic buy. He was the 30 million panic buy.
Nkudu, Janssen, Paul Lopez, and Sissoko. And Wanyama was obviously the only good sign in that window. But the drop off.
The season that you finished third, right? We finished second, didn't we?
That's the Leicester.
The Leicester season. You finished second, right?
We finished third, and we finished second the second season. We finished third the season. You finished obviously behind Leicester that season, and we finished runners up the season Chelsea won. But the season, but them 2 seasons, I noticed as well. We had about 13 quality players in that squad. If you look at it now, like we used to have, if you look at it, we have like Trippier who could potentially replace a Walker as well. Yeah. So you look at the squad, we have like 13 quality players. You just look at, you needed like the extra 2 or 3 just to make it like 15, 16, 17 maybe quality players that would have maybe just got over the line. I look at that time and I think Potts was at 2 or 3 players away here in definitely that little 2-year span before you started seeing the skips and everyone coming through in the team. Yeah, in like the I noticed since that little 2015 period, the 2017-18, because that was obviously the period where Dele was playing his best football as well. We're starting to see a real good Ericsson as well in that little period. But we had a real core team. It started to really drop off as well. I noticed when Carl Walker left the club 2017.
Yeah,
that's when the Potts period started to really drop off as well. We lucked ourselves to a Champions League final. That was the only away win that calendar year up until like November was that Champions League game against Ajax. That was the season we finished 4th, but we lost 13 games in the Premier League, but we drawed like 2 because when we only draw 2 games, that's why we still got Champions League even though we lost 13 matches. So I think we won like 23 or 24 or something like that. But you started to see the signs that it was starting to drop off. And like you said as well, we went too long in that little period where we did not sign any players as well. They used the stadium excuse for too long as well. And there was a period. I know Arsenal had a similar sort of situation as well, where they had to sell a lot of their stars when they opened up the Emirates. And Arsenal fans sort of resented Wenger for a long while. Yeah, Arsenal maybe had to do it. Yeah, I'm looking now and I'm thinking, when are Spurs ever going to get an opportunity like that when we were that good in that little 2 or 3 year period where the Premier League had a little period where the top
problem is we should never have won. We should never have left the stadium because that same year we left that stadium, we went unbeaten at home. And I felt like we needed one more season in the old Tottenham Stadium. This stadium we get opened up every single week.
Not even a fortune.
I think that's more to do with the manager rather than just the players.
Nah, you know what? That last, you were at the last home game, man.
It was today.
You were at the last home game, Hans. Tell me how that stadium was a fortress.
Huh?
Since we moved into this new stadium, it's been downwards and bad.
I feel like we're the away team playing there, man. Like half the time. I feel like we're the away team playing our home ground half the time.
We are because we're defending most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like when we play, I can't even tell we're the home team playing at home half the time, though.
The team has no structure. The team has no structure. Yeah. There's no cohesion.
It's like
a bunch of players in one team.
If someone was on the game today, and obviously you would have said who was playing at home now, you would have thought Bournemouth were the home team. But the way they were just going through us, I know we had more possession and everything like that, but there was no real urgency to that. Mate, the first goal was lucky. Proper lucky, yeah, because Papa saw about 2 minutes before that as a shot, which is just I think it's just inside the box, yeah, and he screws it like 2 or 3 yards wide. Don't even get it on target, yeah. and then 2 minutes later puts in a cross that's blatantly trying to go for a cross to like the back post, and he just gets a little bit. It's when you miss-hit a cross, and it surprises the goalkeeper, so they sort of like position themselves for the cross. And then they basically position themselves for the cross, and because it's like he sliced it a little bit, they're out of position. Yeah, so that was a free goal. The penalty, you know, what I mean, we got lucky in that game. I didn't get a draw, man. How we stole a draw in that match, like it's just shows. Bournemouth, like man, I mean the goal got disallowed as well. I didn't even see. I think someone said they nearly scored in the first minute.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I was going for a piss. I didn't even put the game on. So I'm going for a piss, and I've come back, and someone said they didn't score. I'm like, what the hell? So I can't even go for a piss, yeah? In 15 seconds before the game's even started, and we're nearly conceded already. Is that how it's getting these times now? I can't even go for a quick 15-second piss before the game starts, and then they come back. I missed the first 15 seconds, and we're already 1-0 down, nearly already 1-0 down. Is that how easy we are to play against at home these days? So I mean, we are a mess. And we made AZ Alkmaar a B-rate, C-rate, D-rate Dutch team, yeah? Looked like they were bloody top of the Dutch league. And like Arsenal just spanked finals 7-1 the day before.
I guess being Dutch team isn't for everyone.
And then you know, I don't want to banter ourselves. But sort of like they shamed Dutch football Arsenal the day before. We've just gone over and just shamed English football the day later, and just done it against a team that are not even in the same stratosphere as PSV. PSV are a Champions League team, yeah. Alkmaar are a Europa League Conference League team. They're not a Champions League team. PSV are a Champions League team. That's what I mean. The quality. Oh man, I'm trying to get positive about the rest of the season. As soon as we go out this Europa League on Thursday, I am officially basically done for the rest of the season. I'm just counting out till May.
So for what you're saying, it's all on Thursday. Thursday is either make it or break it.
It is on Thursday. But when you think of it like this, even if we do get through, we're not going to beat any top side in this competition left. I thought there weren't many top teams left in this competition, but when I watched us play against Alkmaar, and I thought, well, if someone had any clinical player in their team up front, we'd be 4 or 5-0 down at half time. If we play like a Frankfurt or a Lazio, we're going to get spanked.
See, for me, I never thought we would win the Europa League.
Even if you had Rangers playing against you, they beat you easily.
Any hope I did, that was gone, mate. Any hope I did, any little deluded hope I had, yeah, and it probably was deluded hope, yeah, thinking somehow we can pull off this madness and win this Europa League, yeah. Well, that's just completely gone anyway now. I do not have any deluded hope.
So what is next for Tottenham? You see, this is the question that I ask myself a lot, because look, I do shows and I'm overly negative every single week. There's always something I have to speak about, and sometimes I want to like put myself in a positive mindset. What is next for Tottenham? Because for me, I can't see us going through. If we're playing the way we're playing, Thursday's just going to be. You know what the worst thing is against AZ, whatever that team is, Alkmaar or whatever this team is, they didn't even have their star players. They didn't even have their star player. Yeah. Their star player, the midfielder, was injured, right? And we struggled. We didn't even have a shot on target until the 80th minute or whatever the stat was, right? So if we're struggling against them, and that's our biggest match, that's our main, that's either break or make, because think about it, if we do end up, look, I'm just putting it in the open, if we do end up winning the Europa League, that is a entry into the Champions League. It will do this club huge if we are in the Champions League. However, next year, what is the standard going to be? Because the standard has to be minimum top 4 and a trophy, in my opinion. And I can't
say that every year, TJ.
No, 110%.
We say that every year. Top 4 and
walking record, really and truly.
The thing is, though, have you seen Andy's record in Europe? It's shocking. It's shocking.
Record's crap.
So I don't understand where this, delusion from not you lot, but a lot of your fans saying, we're favourites to win the Europa League.
It's like our fan base has been like, that thing in Men in Black when they use the thing, it's like every week. My man Will Smith goes to everyone's house and goes like ding ding, and they forget.
Seriously, what is next for Tottenham? I'm really scared because
I asked this question the other day.
I haven't I haven't watched Tottenham because I've spoke to many fans, and they've said they've seen Tottenham get relegated and all of this, and I've never experienced this. This is a new experience for me, right? I've never seen my club this low. Like I said, even though I was supporting Tottenham way before religiously, I would say Pochettino, maybe Redknapp, not even Redknapp, but Pochettino was my pinnacle, right? So I haven't seen us drop this bad. So for us to be what, we're 13th? Where are we? 13th.
It's like we're back in the 90s.
I stopped looking at the league a couple of weeks ago, man. I stopped looking at the league a couple of weeks ago. About 13th, 14th, I think. I know we was like a point above 16th yesterday. So
13th, we're 13th.
We're 2 points above 16th now.
Are you equal with West Ham?
What's that?
Are they on 34 points?
Are you equal with West Ham, Man United?
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 teams that are around that amount of points, isn't there?
I'll look it up, mate. I'm looking it up now.
But it's like, TJ, I told you, it's like when I was a kid where I used to go, we were like mid-table all the time in the late 90s, 2000s. So for me, it's just like...
98, I remember.
I'm just reliving my childhood, basically.
Yeah. Same man, I remember the night.
Right.
I'll tell you what. Go on, Mark, sorry.
We got 34 points. We're level with Man United. Everton are a point behind us. West Ham are a point behind us, but they got a game in hand. Yeah, it's Everton and West Ham. Everton are 1 point behind us.
West Ham play Newcastle tomorrow, so if they win
West
that,
Ham I was going to say West Ham must play tomorrow, and they're a point behind us.
What's every club got in common there other than us? Every club that you just named, they've got in common other than us. You know what they've got in common? They've all sacked their manager this season.
Yeah.
Every single one of them clubs there, other than us. But the only club out there, basically, we're the only club out other than the relegated clubs in that bottom half here who haven't sacked our manager, I think, other than Palace.
Ipswich.
Palace in that bottom club.
Right?
Oh, yeah, Ipswich maybe. Ipswich, well, look at Ipswich, they're relegation. So,
the comforting thing.
Where do you think the next one's coming from?
Southampton.
Probably.
Southampton at home.
Yeah, probably Southampton.
Do you know what?
Even that, it's not even guaranteed.
Do you really think you'll beat them though? Because the way you play, because they will have chances.
But they are. They do defend. They're so poor defensively.
I know they're crap.
So I do think. We will.
I know they're crap, but still. I know they're crap, but I'm not sure.
The only comforting point
I
we
reckon that's
got.
gonna be a draw.
The only comforting thing we got is we're 17 points clear of the drop zone.
And there's 10 games left, right?
And there's 10 games left. But
we should be right.
If you look on the other hand, right, we have got 34 points. Liverpool have got more than double that. Liverpool have got 70. We are 36 points behind the league leaders.
Mate, that's mad, isn't it?
And you're like 23, 24 points behind us, right? I think.
21.
How many games?
21.
How many games we played? 28? We played
28 games.
So in the space of 28 games, we've managed to basically get double the less points than what Liverpool basically they managed to get 70. How many points? 70.
They got 70 points and we got 34. So they got more than double us.
In the space of 28 games,
last season we finished 25 points ahead of you.
34-point lead on us. That's embarrassing, man. That is shocking.
36
last
points
season we finished 20. Last season we finished 24 points ahead of you. And there's still games to go.
It might be 50 points by the end of it. It might be 50 points by the end of it. We've still got 10 games left.
Yeah.
It might be like 46, 47 points by the end of the season. We might end up having like 39 or something, and they might have like 80 or 90.
In 28 league games, we've lost half of them. We've got 14 league defeats.
That's
terrible. And we've won 10 and drawn 4.
Look, the only fan base that will accept it is Tottenham. It makes no sense. And look, people can hate me all they want. I'm not here to make friends. I'll be honest with you. I'm here to support Spurs. I love Spurs. The reason why I'm on this show is because I'm really passionate about Spurs. But there's certain people in this fan base that will defend this. That will defend it.
Right. No. Let me just cut you off there.
For me, let me be honest with you.
The only teams that would accept losing half their games is the 3 teams that come up. And maybe the likes of Wolves and Everton.
100%.
Because they're always hovering about down the lower
it, yeah.
reaches anyway. You know, the 3 teams that came up, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, they'd accept that all day, every day. Because as long as they survive this season, well, that's what they'd hope for, then they're happy with that. And teams like Wolves, Everton are always lurking about down there. Maybe
I don't think Everton fans do, you know, because they're a big club. They're supposed to be winning.
Accepted that, but certainly not with our revenue is the highest in the Premiership.
Exactly, it makes
with
no
the concerts, the NFL, and everything, and we got to accept
it's one of the highest. Yeah, it's one of the highest in sport. I think like any sporting franchise. I think like Forbes list a couple of years ago. I think other than an NFL team and a basketball team, the amount of revenue we make as a football club, it's like one of the best in the world. And like literally to the point is like, so I mean he's built up a very good dynasty of like managing to make a lot of money off this football club without having to really put a lot of success on the pitch, really, isn't it? He's really put like he when you think about it, he is the perfect. What is it? The perfect business would have been able to make a hell lot of money. Yeah, but it was also his PR, the PR side of it is absolutely awful, mate. Because he does not know how to read the room yet. Because he basically does not realise that the success of this football club is what we are dying for. The success of this football club, and he does not read the room. And he just constantly was. I'm seeing more concerts just getting announced. Boxing events. We're getting like Conor Ben coming up in a couple months.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the potential where we sorry, mate, where we might not get 2 out of 3. This might be the second season we might not have European football the last 3 years. It seems to me he's getting to a stage now, where he doesn't even care about the football side of the money, getting the European money for the football side. He doesn't need it anymore. He's just happy pumping all the cash from the other side, from the other revenue streams through the boxing side, the concert side. He doesn't even need the football money anymore.
No, he doesn't.
He really has. He really has.
I must have said this 5 times at least on this channel. All we are these days is an entertainment complex that every 2 weeks, a game of football breaks out in the stadium. That's all we are. The football is secondary now. The football is really secondary. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you. All right, yes, he'd like the Champions League money rolling in because that's what, 150, at least 50, 60 million a year. If you qualify for the Champions League.
Can I play devil's advocate here? See, if you guys watched me before, you would know my feelings about our ownership. I don't actually have to address it here. You guys know where I am. But devil's advocate, right? Devil's advocate. Ange Postecoglou is one of our worst managers ever to manage Tottenham in my lifetime. Again, I don't know about the past. I can only go on what I'm seeing on the pitch. One thing that I have to say about Levy, he has given Ange Postecoglou funds. In fact, if you actually look at it, we have backed this manager more than we've backed the last 5 managers. So Pochettino wasn't backed. Mourinho wasn't backed. Nuno didn't even have a chance. Conte didn't have a chance. Well, he didn't get the players that he wanted, right? The only manager in them 5 years that have been backed is Ange Postecoglou, right?
Yep.
For blooming sake, Levy, sack this guy right now. As much as I have hate for you, I would respect you even more. Just sack him. Because it's not good enough. Devil's advocate, if he carries on this way, why would he give him more signings in the summer? What has he done with the signings that he has now?
Problem is, TJ, it's not the actual amount of money.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, it's the fact that the transfer policy has not changed for 20 years, like literally.
But
so
I was literally about to say,
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. But them players are not 13th place. The players that we have on this pitch.
But what I'm saying is, like, because, like, for example, we were linked with Neto, Gallagher, and Eze. Just like 3 players. Let's say he didn't get one of them really. All we signed was a few youngsters in Solanke in the summer, basically.
But he's happy. Ange has said he's happy with it. He has actually claimed that he's happy with the signings that he has.
I'm just saying, even though he got backed, say money-wise, like I don't think it. You know, I'm Ange out yet.
You can clearly see.
I don't think it would have worked anyway. But no one's really been back properly. Really, I don't think.
Yeah, so I was about to
40
say,
million for today is one of the dumbest decisions you ever did.
if you think of it like this, a lot of clubs, when you say about backing, I completely understand that because we have spent a lot of money in the last couple. We spent a lot of money in the summer, but a lot of clubs, when they back a club, if they want to be successful, you do it with quality over quantity. So I would sort of say backing this guy would have been like, well, we have backed things, we're giving them money, but a serious club, if we want to be serious, would have bought in like 2 or 3 quality players with that 130, 140 million instead of buying this potential to. So I mean, this is how we sort of done it under Potts. We didn't do it pretty like, I'm not bigging up Levy here, yeah, but when it's sort of like how he used to do it like originally, like when this how Potts sort of like inherit this half decent squad, like they have to just get rid of a couple of them because the Ericssons and the Dembélés were sort of there before, and then like we sort of just added like 1 or 2 over the years, and then that's how you sort of make a decent squad these days. You don't like go out and buy 5 or 6 just youngsters, yeah. Every summer you go out and buy 2 quality additions to your squad, like how a Liverpool. I know this is quite a while back. How a Liverpool did with like a Van Dijk and an Alisson. I know we ain't on that level, yeah, but that's how you really improve your squad. Then you get like proper quality players. So you don't just go out and buy like an Odegaard, yeah, and hope this guy's going to be good when he's 23 or 24, and you can get a flip off him and basically make like a 60 million pound
devil's
player.
advocate. I'm only playing devil's advocate here, right? I can equally argue. Yes, our transfer policy hasn't changed, right? But you were saying how we've done 2 or 3 in the past, right? I can equally argue he has done that in terms of Vicario and Van der Ven. They're 2 quality, outstanding players, right? So from Pochettino's era to this era, he's done that. He just added it with quantity, right? What I'm trying to say is the manager, look, again, I'm not... I promise you, if you watch my channel, you'll know. Listen, I don't like this ownership. I don't like Ange. But I can equally say Ange is not using these players right. His system, in an ideal world, we should be 7th or 8th place.
What I would take it as, personally for me, is with the limited resources he's been given, he's not getting the best out of whatever minimal backing. I say minimal as a good phrase for it.
So Ange's not the right manager for Tottenham.
No, he's not. But I still don't think he'll say like fully backed. Like I think it was back to the bare minimum. Let's say was just Solanke and maybe one other player. But the rest of it was just the club signing young players again. But the problem with Ange is he came out and said they're all his. So.
Exactly. So you can't bite the bullet. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like at devil's advocate, this is where I see it. You can't bite the bullet. Ange just said he's happy with the signings he has had. So that's for me, I don't want to give him no more signings.
Right. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I'm going to remove myself.
No, you're not. Angus. Do you mind if you just drop out? Because it is a fan calling show. We've just got some other people to come on. Anytime, Angus, you're welcome. You know that. Thank you very much.
Take care, Angus.
Big up, Angus.
Yeet.
He's secretly white. He's secretly white.
There we go. Done.
Evening.
Big up,
man. How are you? You okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, big up, mate. Big up.
Have you been listening, Dan?
For the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Go on then, jump in with what TJ's saying, mate, about just standards and what we're doing, and go on, mate.
Oh, yeah. Standards.
Where do you start, innit? Where do you start?
Look, it's the season's over, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're just waiting to get knocked out of the Europa League. League's done. Painful. Very, very painful. It's very difficult to watch our team right now. Yeah, really, really difficult. Like that performance today, I mean, it was crap, weren't it? Yeah, what has happened to the whole, I know I don't like using this term, but Ange ball, what's happened? It's gone. There's nothing. There's literally nothing there. There's no football there at the moment. The players have lost confidence. They're better than what we're seeing, these players. There's no system. There's no combination play. I know the forward line is average, but surely they should be playing better than that. No one knows what they're doing. We're so open at the back, gifting chances away. And we saw today what a good coach team looks like, right? In Bournemouth. But we've seen it week in, week out. Whoever we play, we'll always get out coached. So it's a really difficult question. It's like we have to ride out this season. I mean, we'd all love Ange to get sacked today, but he's not going to get sacked. Maybe he'll get sacked if we get knocked out of the Europa League, but I've given up saying it because he's still here. My fear is that he's going to be here next season because I can't imagine if going through another season with Ange. I can't do it. Let's be real.
Let me tell you. Let me just have one word, Dan, and I'll let you all carry on.
Sorry.
Right?
Yeah, sorry.
This is the way I look at it. If Ange Postecoglou is here next season and we carry on playing like we're playing, and I'll caveat this after I've said this next sentence, will be in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. If you look at the form after the first 10 games of last season and then carry on that form all the way through this season, we are maybe where we are now and a bit lower and probably with less points. If he's here next season, we are in serious puppy doo-doos. I'll tell you that for nothing. I've seen 2 years of this bloke. He ain't changing. He's doing the same shit every single week. Every single week. He ain't going to change. He ain't going to change for toffee. Now, we're going to have this next season over again. Yeah, you might have a couple of new players in the summer. Yeah, but we are going to be struggling next season with this manager. If we change the manager and we get a coach in, you probably get a different story. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I am 95% sure that these players that are in this squad are good enough in league terms to be in the top 8, to be getting conference football, to be getting Europa football, not necessarily Champions League. Do you know what? With this squad, I wouldn't want Champions League because we would get battered against the better sides, the big sides. We'd get slaughtered. And that's my big fear for next season. I don't know. I know Dan's just said it about that if he's here, but I just, if we go out to Europa Thursday and Friday morning he's still here, that tells me that he's here next season.
Okay, let me ask everyone who thinks he'll be here in the summer.
No, I don't think
honestly.
So.
Well, I hope not.
I believe he will.
Why?
To be fair, you do have a point because they flipping sung his name with 5-1 down at home to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Firstly, in my opinion, he's the perfect manager for Levy.
Yeah, because he's a puppet.
He's the perfect puppeteer. He accepts. Look, so when we had Conte and Mourinho, they would call out all of this penny pinching,
Yeah.
But for Ange, he's happy. He's happy with everything that he's got. He didn't get his first. Look, I remember we were linked to Conor Gallagher. That didn't happen. We were linked to all of these other players. That didn't happen. We've got all of these youngsters. And look, I'm not beating these youngsters, but he's happy. And for Levy, that's a good thing because he's got a manager that will be quiet, take the blame. He's happy. If you watch his press conference earlier, he said something on the lines of, I'm going to reiterate what he said. He said, if the fans don't, something around the fans should be more supportive or something like that. Yeah. And for me as a Tottenham fan, you're saying it's okay to lose matches, 18 games, and you've lost. That's bad. What other team has lost 18 games?
Apparently, I haven't watched it yet. You know the interview did with Spurs. You know I interviewed them Spurs. Someone did a quote to me. I haven't watched the actual video yet. It's 5 minutes, and I rarely watch it. Apparently, Ange said something about the anxiety of the crowd or something like this. That's because
something on the lines of that.
But hold on, mate. You're the reason why we're so anxious because you're playing out the back every fucking time.
He will be here next year. He's a
Mate,
perfect
Vicario almost put his own net today.
Yeah.
Guys, tell me in history who survived 20 defeats, 19 defeats in a Premier League season? What manager? Can anyone remember one?
No manager.
Do you know how many Arteta had? Did he ever have that number?
It weren't that many in a season. No.
What you talking?
Before
You
you
talking
came
about
on,
every
Dan,
single club?
Before you came on, Dan, the only I said the only clubs that will accept this with this many defeats is the three that come up that are just desperate to stay in the Premier League, and teams like Everton, Wolves that are always lurking about down there, maybe Palace, someone like that.
Well, let me put it like this then. Well, let me put it like this. You know, what is Levy's minimum for a Tottenham manager?
It used to be Champions League, didn't it?
I would have said Champions League. Yeah, I would have said, but this year is different.
It used to be.
I would have said European football. I would have thought personally some sort of like term of getting like European, other than like obviously I don't know about the Conference League, but I would have thought at least Europa League football at these last couple of years. I'm looking like the last 2 or 3 years where we've not had like European football. The year before Ange come and potentially the year, because I'm looking at like the sort of warning sign with Levy as well. There's a situation in the season where he could sort of told top four was becoming very alarming. We weren't going to get it, and maybe we weren't going to potentially win the Europa League. And he could have sat this guy maybe in November or December, before the transfer window and tried to build us back up. He's not showed any signs of doing that. He's basically just completely waved out the rest of this. I'm worried that he's going to maybe still be here next season, because he's basically giving him a free pass because of this injury crisis, and he's going to see what the first season's like, and he's going to. So I was sort of going to ask the question to people a minute ago. Say if Ange goes, what sort of manager do people think we're going to get? Like, do anyone think we know Levy? Do we think we're going to go for maybe a potentially, because we've gone for like win now managers the last few managers before we went for him, or are we going to go for like an Iriola type manager? Because I want an Iriola type manager.
We need someone like that. We need someone like that.
Do you know what? Do you know what Levy would do? He always pulls a rabbit out of the hat, and I can see if Ange goes, he'll get Poch back. Just so the heat don't go on him. He does it all the time. As soon as the fans, like they have started to, as soon as they turn on him, he'll pull the rabbit out of the hat. Poch will be unveiled, and everyone will be back on board.
But then, Mark, at the same time, isn't it Poch a massive risk for Levy as well? And the reason I say this is that say they bring him back, right? And the first season goes all right. Let's say the first season goes all right. Okay, he bought himself a year. Let's say we get to the transfer window and we had another window like we had just now, and we start the season bad and then everything goes bad. Do you think I think he risks the fact that the fans will have more against Levy because they doesn't back Poch, someone who has such much high goodwill with the fan base still, even 5 years later.
I agree with that. I think Iriola is the perfect manager to try and go for in the summer, because I'm looking at the situation now like, is this more of a mess than what Pochettino was sort of like inherited us like under the Sherwood mess? It's quietly similar. And I look at Iriola as well, 2.0 as well. Like he gets 5 to 10% better out of his Bournemouth players as well. 12 months ago, I didn't hear anyone hype up Justin Kluivert. He's managed to get Justin Kluivert. Some of these players played really well. He had a similar situation in the season where he had 8 or 9 players out injured. And his system is so like embodied into the squad and into the team. It's a very good system that players can come straight out of the squad injured, players can go in, and it doesn't make that much of a difference to the performances. Iriola, to me, is the perfect manager right now for like the situation Spurs with, because we're not going to go out. We're not going to do what serious clubs do in a transfer window. Instead of buying 4 or 5 like youngsters, which we do, we should be buying 2 or 3 quality players and doing that every season. That's how you get a good start in 11. You do over 3 or 4 windows, you buy 2 or 3 quality players, and that's how you end up with a good start in 11, how we did before. Iriola's the perfect manager to get the best out of these, better out of these players. He's not even a coach at all. We've got players in this squad who can play better, and it is mainly down to this system as well. Why these players are like, because like you said, players like Madison, Bentancur, even I don't rate Basuma, but even these are not 30th place players in the league. We've got teams like Palace, teams like who are above us, teams like Fulham, yeah, are they squad better than us on pay?
No.
If you go through the whole, if you go through the whole
I don't
23,
think it takes 2 or 3 windows to build an 11. Really, I think you only need like 2 windows. You can do it.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Like 22 or 3.
Like the first year, you can build an 11, and then after that, you just build around it with extra players and maybe upgrade a couple.
The reason why, I'll be so honest with you, the reason why I see Ange still staying until next season, I can't tell you where I work. Only has knows. Maybe Mark.
No,
knows
I'm
where
not going to say
right?
it. I'm not.
Yeah, but I have a theory. I work every home game. Whenever Tottenham play, I work every home game in it, and that's all I can let out here, right?
Yeah,
but in I think next year or the year after, I'm going to be doing home games, midweek games, and what is it called? Weekend games, because the women play, the men's play, and then you're going to have the NFL, and then also the concerts as well, right? So back to why I have the theory of why Ange is the perfect manager for Tottenham. Regardless if we finish 4th, 5th, 16th, right? Champions Leagues don't matter because Levy's making the money elsewhere. The women's games, for example, if you don't know, see, I can't say what I'm going to say in it, but you need 10,000 fans for me to work, basically. You know? So for me to work on that day for a home game, there has to be 10,000 fans. And as you see the expansion of the women's football, there's also, I know for a fact, because it's in talks of where I work in it. But my theory is he's happy with Ange. Ange is a puppet. He don't say nothing wrong in them interviews. He hasn't called out ownership. He hasn't called out the signings. He hasn't called out the tools he's been given. He's happy with what he's got. Perfect manager for Levy. Perfect manager. So, look, I would say in the next 2 years, mark this stream. In fact, I'm going to come back to this stream. I'm going to say this theory. Next 5 years, say goodbye to Champions League. Say goodbye to Europa League. We're not going to be finishing there. We're going to be minimum 10, 12, 13. That's where Tottenham's going to be.
But the fans won't accept this. The fans won't accept this. No way.
You say that, but I've been calling out the fans for a long while. I've been calling out the standards. See, for me, I'm not happy with finishing top 4. That's not where I want to be. Personally, that's not where I want to be. I want to go and challenge. I want to be like, as much as Arsenal's doing it now, as much as Man City's been doing it, Liverpool's doing it. I want to be known for challenging for the title. Although we haven't ever been known for it. I want to be known for going far in the cups. Look, we're struggling. We are struggling. You say the fans don't accept it. 2,000 fans protested for Levy to get out. Regardless of what you feel, you understand, right? You need more than 2,000 fans. How many people go to home games? You got a season ticket? How many?
60K, basically, I say 60K.
Exactly. So then 2,000 fans
including us, me and you, and some don't even play games,
including myself, and I don't have a season ticket. Them 2,000 fans is a microscope compared to how many people go to the stadium.
That was maybe 5%. I think 5%.
You need around 10,000, 20,000 to actually affect. See, modern day protests don't work. It's true. We step outside, we protest, but as long as the fan base is divided, some people want Ange in, some people want Ange out, some people like Levy, some people don't like Levy. As long as the fans are not united, it's going to be like this.
Can I say one thing?
This is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Do you guys think? I know it's a weird question to ask here.
Go for it.
I was thinking this when someone in the comments mentioned about Ange and the injuries. Do you think Ange has played Levy as well? Do any of you think that? I'm not saying defending Levy, by the way. I'm just saying, do you think Ange?
No, I think he's just shit.
Yeah.
I think he's just shit.
You know what I'm saying when he goes in the press conference? Oh, the injuries. Oh, this. Oh, that. Like,
no, it's just a yes.
The reason I say this is because he's still here. That's the only reason I say this. Not because he do you think he's played Levy and Levy's believed, oh, well, the injuries. This is why we're so little. I don't know.
TJ, a question like what you said, right? And get what you're saying, and it could be true, right? We'll see. If we have another season like this and another season like this.
Oh, where's Dan gone?
Oh, he's frozen.
He might come back.
He said, have a season like this as a season like
I think
this.
repeated like 12, 11.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he was getting to the
I don't
point
know what he
of-
was going to say, but
Sorry, am I back? Am I back?
Yeah,
My internet's been so bad the last few days,
Mm.
man. I've got to ring up Virgin. Got to sort it out, man. It's so annoying. Yeah, I think I know Levy doesn't want to win, but knowing Levy, he's always wanted to challenge to some kind of European position, right? He's always wanted us to be around that top 6. He loves the fact that we used to be called a top 6 team, top 4 team. I'm not yet convinced that Levy has given up completely.
It's not as important now because of the revenue that comes in.
This is one season, guys. One season it's really been bad, yeah? This season has been really bad. Yeah, I know we finished 8th for the previous seasons and 7th, 8th, but this season has been awful. Losing, half the games it could be, right? You've got the people in the press, Sky Sports, TalkSport, criticising Levy, calling him out. I don't think he's going to accept this. Yeah, I know we all don't like Levy, but Levy must have some standards when it comes to winning games, playing some good football, keeping the fans happy. Because I'll tell you what, fans will not accept this poor football, 13th, 14th, 15th in the league, losing game after game next season. I don't think so. I know we
fans like us. No, look, okay, cool, agree. I agree with you 110%. Everything you've said is perfect. Fans like us won't accept it. Fans that are real diehard Tottenham fans that want to see Tottenham succeed.
Yeah.
But I can't, like I said, I can't mention where I work. However, I can mention that they're looking to acquire an NFL team to play at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
On a regular basis. It's actually a true fact.
JJ's.
Right. Yeah. They're looking to require NFL team to play at Tottenham Hotspur on a regular basis.
The money in that is crazy.
110%. They're looking to build the hotel. And they're also looking to expand. There's a lot of expansion on Tottenham High Road, right?
Yeah,
now,
Chick King and us meant to be being knocked down.
My point when I say Tottenham Hotspur Football Club don't really mean anything to us, to Levy. Because for me, we pay the ticket prices are the highest in the Prem. We're probably we're the most expensive. The shirt price is expensive. The day-to-day experience is expensive. The F1 karting thing is expensive. I've been there, So there's all of this other stuff, and for me, if you think about a football teams are a burden. Look at who we've signed in the last 18 months. We've signed young, under the age of 20.
But Conte warned us about this, though, because after
he did. He made it clear, but we didn't want to hear it. At the time, we thought he was a bit drunk. But if you look at the players we're signing, apart from Danso, that is 26 years old, all of our signings have been young and up and coming. Ashley Phillips, I don't have to name it. You know Tottenham squad. How is that a European or Champions League champion? Even if you're going to say, okay, our standard is European level, Europa League.
Well, that's big evidence, isn't it? That's big evidence. I get that.
We're not. We're far from the top. In fact, I can equally argue that we're more of a Brighton model than anything else.
Yeah, but they did say they were going to try and copy Brighton. To be fair,
so look at how Brighton performs on a year-to-year level. Yeah, they sell and they buy young. They sell and they buy young, and they profit from it. They're happy with selling and buying young. They don't challenge. They don't decide to, okay, one day let's go for the Champions League or let's go for the FA Cup. They don't, because Brighton's not known for that. So,
but the one thing I'll say with where I agree with Dan is it's more to do with Levy's ego, though. Don't you think Levy's ego might think, I like owning a European club or a big European club, not because we have to be successful, but the fact that we're in a European club or a top 6 team like
We're 16 years
No,
in
I-
this making, no
No,
trophies.
no, no. What I'm
He
saying
don't
is
really
for his
care
own,
about
for his
Tottenham
own
Hotspur
ego,
Football
not
Club.
because of the success for Spurs. I'm saying for his own ego, because I think
Yeah.
the guy's got a massive ego. Maybe I kind of agree with Dan that maybe he won't have Ange because he want someone to come in to get him back into Europe. Bear in mind, Ange even said this in his first season. The aim was to get back into Europe. So after this, for all we know,
He's
maybe
failed. Ange has failed. He's failed. So that means if he's failed, he gets sacked at the end of the season or before. He's failed.
I think we'll get a new manager next season, 100%, because there's
Put
no
it this
way.
way, Daniel Levy said as soon as he bought the club for £22 million, or ENIC did.
Yeah.
And their first statement, as soon as they turn up, they say, I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Levy that came out and said it, because he's like the face of ENIC. He came out and said, we at ENIC see football as a way to make money.
Yeah,
That's the first thing he said when they rocked up.
£22 million mark they bought
£22 million, I know.
And he came out and he said, we're here to make money.
Yeah.
And as soon as that statement came out, can I ask me son, I was Levy out, ENIC out, everyone out. Because to me, if someone buys a football club and they blatantly come out, let's say TJ, like you said, Daniel Levy buys the club for £22 million and he says, we're going to sink a load of money into this football club. We're going to make stadiums. We're going to make hotels. We're going to do this, that, and the other. But we're going to compete.
Why did he hire Conte, Mourinho?
Happy,
why did he hire them then if he didn't want some kind of success? You don't go and grab those managers.
I think
why did he do that?
It's a show. It's a show. I think he did it to pretend that he wanted to compete. I know it sounds really weird me saying it that way, but as in with Jose, I think it was like he wanted him for years and years. So for him, his ego, I need to get Jose in. So he got Jose. With Conte, because the fans turned on him, he was like, I need to bring someone big in, otherwise, they're gonna go crazy. And they brought in Conte. Then the fans were unhappy with the football that Conte was playing. So what did he do? He brought in a manager that was playing attacking football, quote unquote. Like it's all. I think it's all for show.
It made it clear when Mourinho got sacked before a final, and he was sacked for. Well, the rumors have it because if he gets sacked now, it's a less payout or something.
Yeah. Well, if he'd have won the final, he'd have had to pay him more. Because there was something written in his contract.
Sorry, I was going to say, and the other one is TJ was that he wanted to rest players during the week for the final. For me, that's the main one. And he stood his ground and he said, I need to rest these for the final. And Levy told him, listen, we're after top 4 or whatever. You need to play whoever's playing.
Yeah, that's a massive red flag.
I heard that as well.
That's a massive red flag that he wanted to prioritise the Premier League game over winning the trophy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, massive red flag. So.
Okay, guys, these protests, right? We had a big one the other day, right? There's another one coming up. Now, do you think that can have any impact on this situation? If this protests grow, they keep consistent, what are people's hopes on this? Because that's all I'm kind of looking at. Because I want Levy gone massively. I want him out. But is this protest going to put enough pressure, these regular protests, are they going to put enough pressure on Levy and the board to change? Everybody pitch in, see what you think.
I think to start there'll be it might help Will trying to get more communication from him to the fans. Yeah. That might be a start. If he keeps with the protests as well, he might realise as well he's become quite disjointed. His communication relationship with the fans over the years, where he doesn't let us know enough over the sometimes the fans enough in the. His biggest problem is he doesn't read the room in sort of situations during the season as well. We can sort of tell the times are he goes missing a lot of times during the season. When we sort of need answers during his reign, this is where he doesn't step up. So I think this would definitely be something that would be an advantage with the protest. You could potentially maybe get him to be a bit more communicated with the Spurs fans and be more open and honest. But I think it's going to take a long time, man, because he's built a pyramid of financial money he can make from this football club where he doesn't even really. I said before, I see some big signs from this season where I'm really worried about, because if it would have been the European thing, he would have sacked Ange about November or December if he really wanted to save this season, this Premier League season. Yeah, it sort of showed to me like he didn't really give a crap about. If he put all his eggs in the basket and Ange winning this Europa League to try to get any sort of level of European football, that sort of shows me that's what he was doing from like December. If he wasn't, he would have sacked him in November, December, and he'd have been like, I'm getting a manager in now to try and save this season because it's still quite tight from 4th to 11th or 12th. I could still go and easily salvage this season. He basically just ripped off the rest of the season in my eyes and he put all his eggs in the basket in the Europa League. He's that confident in Ange that he's going to win the Europa League that he thinks. So I'm sort of worried.
This is why, Daniel. This is why I made the point that I think I'm not saying this happened, by the way. Like, do anyone think that Ange played Levy in the sense that these excuses and like where he told him, "Oh look, I can do this," because in his press conferences he doesn't seem worried that he's going to get sacked. That's what, I don't see it.
But see, look, these these protests. Sorry, back to the point that we were going to make, innit? Look, if it's 2,000 people, no, that's the standard answer. Look, I went to the protest.
That was a lot bigger, TJ, than the previous ones. So that's something going up.
I mean,
so
TJ,
the next one is better.
Hopefully, No, I do hope it does expand. Right? I went to the protest with Haz. I was, you know what? I lost my voice.
Yeah,
I go to
you were like,
I go to protests like I make sure I'm known. But look, if it's a standard answer, if it's only 2,000, like we saw on the first protest, big outcome, right? For Haz, for example, because he's been protesting a long time. He's like a prime protester, to be honest with you. I only took time off work to end up going to the protest, right? But however, if the protest expands and we get that 2,000 turns into 10,000, the next one turns into 20, 30, 40, whatever, right? 110% Levy, it will affect Levy's pocket because he's got sponsorships. You've got all of these high tier fans that come for the experience, not to support Tottenham, but to dine, to booge, to invest, right? It's going to affect the morale, right?
Yeah.
In the long run, yes, 110%. But see, the problem with our fan base, okay, I'm not saying us. I'm saying the general fan base. If we start going on a win, example, like for me, if we start winning next year, we're now top 6, top 7, top 4. Half of the protesters divided because you told me this. They're not protesting for change, because for me, top 4 is not what I want. In fact, I don't want us to be top 4 contenders. I want us to win things. I want us to challenge the things. That's why I'm protesting. I want change. I want Tottenham to be Tottenham, the team that I fell in love with.
But we will never under Levy. Never.
Oh, no. 100%. 100%. So
under Levy, the ceiling's like top 4, basically.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can, and that's not good enough. I know that's not good enough. I know, but we know that we understand the situation under Levy. So what we can have at least expect us try and challenge for Europe, have a decent footballing team, win games, try and win a cup. That's all we know. But it's not good enough. Look, and I think TJ, what you're saying is there's not enough fans in the fan base who have them standards. That's right, isn't it? Is that what you're getting at?
No, they don't. They generally don't. They flip flop.
Yeah,
when it's bad, they want to protest. When it's happy, they're okay to.
It's not that, TJ. There's still people making excuses for the position we're in now.
Yeah, they are. They're making excuses. They're making too many excuses for the position we're in now. It's been too many weeks now. They're making the same excuses for the position we're in now. It's basically like, how many times in a season do we have to go on like a show and have like a little half-time out about the same performances from the team in the first half and say, well, I hope he makes subs at half-time there, and he still doesn't make a sub until the 70th minute or so. The only sub he made, was it the Alkmaar game? I know it's go back to the Alkmaar game. Was Matty's Tell at half-time, yeah? And that was because he had eyes. Matty's Tell was that rubbish. It was the obvious sub to make at half-time there. But he didn't make any more subs until the 70th minute. He's like too many times in this season.
Even today, even today, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was watching him on the touchline, yeah. and he's saying nothing no getting the rest of the game. And then they scored, and Sonny wakes up. I'm like, where the fuck were you for the past hour? Like, this manager's just clueless.
Can I just make a quick announcement? A quick announcement quickly. Thank you, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Matt, we've done it. We're at 300 subs, mate.
Big up to you, man. Congratulations.
Well done.
Congratulations on 300 subs, man. Big up.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please like, subscribe. And we never ask. We never ask on this channel. We've got to do it more regularly. But we hardly ever mention it, do we, Matt?
No, we don't. No.
But
we've decided to mention it 3 or 4 times from now on. So,
thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Lads, what I was going to say, I'm hopping off.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
No worries,
TJ.
It's been a pleasure.
Anytime, bruv. You're always welcome, mate. All right.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Take it easy,
I'll
TJ.
see you on Friday,
Nice to meet you,
and Mark, you coming in on our Friday show?
I normally do, don't I? I normally turn up.
I'll put the link to the chat, so if anyone wants to hop on.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later. Love you.
TJ.
See you later.
See you later.
Hang on a sec. It's TJ's gone, and I can get Corey in.
I think he's making his dinner.
Is he? Corey, you're on, just so you know, whenever you want to jump in. All right,
I'm
mate.
here. I'm not going on camera while I eat. It just,
No, don't blame me, mate. That's all right.
No one wants to see another man eat here because I'm celebrating my 40th birthday with a kebab. I know it's not the healthy thing, but it's the first thing in months I've had like that.
Why not, mate? What did you think about today, Corey?
I honestly fell asleep through the most of that first half going into the second half, and I woke up when Tottenham started like waking up. I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
It bored me that much I fell asleep.
You didn't miss much, mate, to be honest with you.
Oh, great. I'll probably watch the highlights of what happened, but I automatically know once the ball goes over the left or the right wing, we're fucked, basically. So no point watching that absolute travesty. I mean, I was taking snaps on my phone of the match the whole time, like, this player's out of position. Why is this player over it? And, I'm like trying to mark it out on my phone, show where players should be standing, where they should be. Romero, in that first 5 minutes, I was like, get the fucking arsehole off, please.
He was shocking, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he ain't played, does he? He hasn't played. He's rusty.
Not an excuse, though, Dan. Dan, that's not an excuse, mate, for being on the edge of your box, trying to play a ball across. That's the, I've played football, man. That's not. No.
If he continues that, fair enough. But he's better than that.
Yeah, he was wank. When you just don't do that. I'd rather he oofed it into the crowd than doing that.
I didn't even see that. Was that first 20 seconds?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the game.
What did he do? Because I was going for a piss.
He passed it to the Bournemouth player. I can't remember who it was.
And that's when they didn't score straight away, wasn't it?
Yeah, he passed it.
Like you said, like Dan said, I mean, he's been like, he has. I'm not going to give him an excuse for that because maybe the professional players should be doing that full stop, but he hasn't played in so long. Well, about 4 or 5 months, like any sort of football, like, other than the Chelsea game. Like, so maybe he's a senior player, but I'm not going to give him a full stop.
Was it half an hour he came?
I don't know, like, so I mean, but what was his plan really today? Was he planning to like rest plays to like sort of prioritize any? I don't really know what his plan was today. I personally, I would have done. I would have just completely binned off this game today, personally, and then just been like, even though we're not going to win Europa League in my eyes, I'd have put all my focus definitely on it to get at least have a chance to get through to the last 8, because I would have potentially played Werner, I would have potentially played, I would have played rest of a lot of players because what we're doing in the league, basically, all we're doing,
Ajayi or any of the kids.
Yeah, all we're doing is playing the league potentially now, is to get to like maybe a 9th or a 10th spot. All that's going to do is get extra revenue in Daniel Levy's pocket, like an extra £2, £3, £4, £5 million by an extra spot you finish in the league. We're not playing for anything else in the league right now other than like maybe momentum going into Europe. So I don't really understand. Like, I believe his whole focus was to maybe try and win Europa League as well, to try and save the season, and Ange would potentially know that. This lineup today did not show me really any sort of signs that he prioritised in that Europa League still. So he still thinks, does he still think he has that little slight deluded chance that he can get like top 7 or top 6 in the league for some reason? No. If he does, he's out of his mind.
I think he rested players though. Like the midfield he played, he rested clearly.
Yeah, he did rest a few, but I would have rested basically the whole lot of them. I would have basically been like, this game on Thursday is so much more important than this game today. I would have been like, any senior players I want playing on Thursday, you're not playing today. I'd be like, you're not, other than maybe the players that you need to play that have been out, like the injured ones that need to get those minutes in them as well. I would have definitely played like a Bergvall today. And I'd be like, because he ain't going to play on Thursday, is he? So I'd have played him today.
The concern is, guys, where are we going to get any level of performance from to pick ourselves up for Thursday? We've forgotten how to play football. We've forgotten how to play. How are we going to actually even win?
We forgot how to play football 18 months ago when we took this manager on.
Yeah, but it's real, Corey. It's awful now. It's really, really bad now. Like, there were games last
dude. I agree with TJ. I think the players aren't playing for him. I just think it's all a show. I think they clock in, do the bare minimum, and go home.
Yeah.
I know it's bad a couple of weeks ago. I know it's bad recently, but you see how easy we are getting pickpocketed through our defence now. It's even more alarming than what it was before.
The middle,
it's not even like they have to put any much effort into it now. It's even like the basics are getting through our defence and our midfield. It's like you don't even have to play.
Midfield is non-existent. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's non-existent. We literally, I watched Alkmaar just like an express train just run through our midfield the other day when they set up Troy Parrott for that 1-1 where it got saved.
I mean, Villa did it as well for their goal. I remember. Like
Everton did it. Do you remember the Everton game?
Yeah,
they ran straight through the middle as well.
Because we don't play with the number 6. I don't know why people.
It's like they're not even there. It's like they're not even there. Yeah, it's like they're not even there. It's like you got 3 guys there. It's like they're running through like an express train. Like you said, we've not got a number 6 for some reason. People keep telling me that people dig them up saying, "Oh, he doesn't play with a number 6. He doesn't play with a number 6." Well, his sort of style he does when he exposes the defence, so open, he needs someone mopping stuff up, when it does get bad. He does not even have anyone there, who has that mind to try and mop up stuff when it gets bad. So I'm trying to say, we are in big, big trouble here because this guy is so stubborn in beliefs that he thinks this can work in what he thinks he can do. It isn't. That's what I mean. We are screwed. I do hope that I would personally get Iriola. That's the one guy I'd go for. Any manager in football right now, I want Iriola over Potts. People will say, "What? Go for Potts because Potts has been here before." Potts is an international job. It's probably going to be quite hard to maybe. I know he loves the football club, and if you do offer him the chance to come back, he might take it. But I don't know if he's going to take it if you offer him now. I'm not a sort of guy who looks like he wants to walk out on an American job, 12 months before a World Cup starts as well, and it's in America as well. I think if you went for him next summer after the World Cup finished, then you'd have a chance of getting him. I think Iriola is attainable in the summer, especially if if we can't sell the project to Iriola, I know we don't really know what the Spurs project really is, but if we can't say to Iriola in the summer, like, if you want to come to Spurs, there's no disrespect to Bournemouth, but if we can't praise their manager away from them, then we are in serious shit.
But Daniel, why would he come here? Like, what?
I do understand. I do understand that.
Money.
You're coming right now.
Money isn't going to take the guy away from a team potentially playing in Europe.
It will, Corey.
Europe.
Money, they'll double his salary.
Europe, if he does well with Bournemouth on a very low budget in Europe, is going to propel his stock even higher. So
Spurs, surely he can go. If Arsenal sack Arteta, they'll go for Iriola. I think personally, if they sack Arteta, they're going to go.
Iriola is on £1 million a year, and he's on 5.
Yeah, that tells you something. And look what Iriola's done. And look what Iriola's done. With no disrespect, Bournemouth, a team whose ground holds less than our South Stand, quite a lot less than our South Stand, right? And the expectations they got there, right? Because let's face it, I'm not being disrespectful to Bournemouth because Bournemouth's not too far away from me, and I don't want their fans knocking on my door, right? It is. For a team that the size they are, they've got obviously an owner that wants to be competitive. They've got a manager that knows what he's doing. And it's all set up with football. Set up. The whole club is set up with football in mind. Not like us. We're an entertainment venue that a football match breaks out every couple of weeks. It's not about the football with us. Bournemouth. I'd take the Bournemouth owner and the Bournemouth manager in a heartbeat over the rubbish we got at our club at the moment.
But the bottom line is, with the resources we have, compared to Bournemouth's resources, we're doing a hell of a lot worse. Whether it's the manager that we picked, whether it's the players we signed, because let's be honest, none on paper, not maybe over 2 or 3 of the Bournemouth players getting to our team on paper. Let's say on quote unquote. On paper.
Yeah, that's what I said in the summer to people as well. I was like in the summer when people started picking up our squad in the summer, and then I didn't hear no one in the summer say Bournemouth have got this better squad than us. But when I used this excuse a couple of months ago to say why is Iraola managing to get better out of his players than what Ange is, they said, well, apparently Bournemouth have got a better squad than us. And I was like, well, you picked up Spurs' squad so good in the summer, saying we're a potential top 4, top 5 team. Where's all this?
You're talking about us
gone for the Spurs squad in the space of 4 months.
We're talking about us finishing third, and the problem is, Daniel, these same fans in the summer were like, this window is like an 8, whatever out of 10, right? Now,
I remember hearing some of these fans as well.
Then they claim after this gone bad, and Ange wasn't backed. But then hold on, you're the same fans who said that in the summer the window was so good. Like these same people. And I'm just like, make up your mind. In the summer, you're like, it was such an amazing window. Now he wasn't back. So then it wasn't an amazing window. But hold on, at the same time you said we're going to finish third. Now you're like, oh, well, I'll be happy if we finish in the top, I don't know, like 10.
Yeah.
Like just the continuous change of the goalposts based on the situations, the continuous excuses. This is why we are where we are. And this is why
it's revisionism.
I go back to this. We're 5-1 down at home to Liverpool. People sing his bloody name. Like, I can't get over that. Sorry, it's keep bringing it up.
It's constant revisionism.
Yeah.
People change the thing to suit their narrative.
Because a lot for me is, again, for show, I don't think people don't want to be seen as like a bad fan, quote unquote, or like someone who's
I agree. Or
you're negative, you're toxic because you don't agree that the window was like good or the manager's good or in the project or whatever. A lot of people are just saving face. Like, I don't know whether they truly believe what they're saying or whether they're just saying it just because to get clicks or to seem like, I don't know, man.
A few weeks ago, it was wait till the injured players come back. Wait till
now the injured players come back. What's the difference now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it? You watch when Romero and Van der Ven when Romero Van der Ven are back, we'll be flying. We'll be shooting up that league. We're going backwards of anything. Romero was absolutely
worse with the players back, guys. We've actually got worse with the players coming back.
Romero was absolute in the first 15 seconds. In the first 15 seconds, he put Bournemouth through on goal, and they should have been 1-0 up.
But guys, how does that make any sense? We look worse with more options.
It's the manager, it's the tactics, it's the no coaching, it's everything. It's
the players
basically
have given up, guys. The players have given up.
Yeah,
I think the youngsters have not given up because that would not be good for them to give up. Dan, I think a lot of
that would be a good sign with it. Yeah.
I agree.
They don't have a choice because for them this is like a big break. Like,
of course it is.
Great, didn't expect to be playing. I don't think this much at least.
Basically, the youngsters will try and grasp any opportunity they've got to get in the first team, and they don't obviously when it's going to get that opportunity. So, like, basically, even in this situation, you sort of look at them and think they're going to give their hardest no matter what. Yeah, but you look at these senior players now, and you think, as much as I hate I don't want him managing this club, and like I don't rate him. You know, like, I look at these players and I'm like, mate, there's too many of these players that were here a couple of years ago when it started going wrong, and too many of these players, like I look at the players, I'm like, well, if you don't want to play for the manager, at least at least shave a bit of credibility for yourself, man, because like the results we've had this season, like the 2 defeats in the space of 4 days to Liverpool and Aston Villa, that was a real sign to me that they checked out. I know people said, well, that was the 2 cups in the space of 4 days, and that's basically when I sort of checked out on this season completely, man. As soon as we lost that Liverpool game, the way we lost it as well, because we have a 1-0 lead. Basically, when we conceded the goal early to Liverpool, it went to 1-1, and I was like, well, if you think about that, the game's still all square, it's still level, because we're still in this tie. We basically just went into our shells in that match, and just got battered 4-0. And just sat there and just waited to get battered 4-0. It's like we didn't even play like we was in that tie from the start in that second leg. The mentality of this squad and this manager sucks. That's what I mean. So like, I get to a point now where I'm thinking like an Iraola sort of manager who's getting percentage better at these Bournemouth players as well, like a Clive. They got some real good players, Bournemouth, man, who I didn't even rate like a year ago. And I'm like, some of these players are really good.
Even Daniel, Glasner at Palace, right?
He's quality. He's quality, man. I think he's going. I think he's going Liverpool. I think he'll go Liverpool to replace Robbo. He looks like a Liverpool.
Right, I got a quick favour to ask of Dan. Can you collaborate these in his press conference or wherever he said it? He blamed the
I've got
atmosphere.
a podcast, guys. So thanks for having me on, Mark.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Please subscribe
See
to
you
all
later, Hazard.
these.
We're
Like
nice to
you,
you.
Mark,
Well, he said that.
journalist, and of course myself and TJ.
Yeah,
who
see
are
that,
on
Haz,
the-
mate. Yeah.
anyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Cheers, Haz.
Yeah, take care,
Thanks,
mate.
Haz.
Yeah,
Anytime,
take care,
Haz.
mate.
Yeah,
Anytime.
anytime, Haz.
Yes.
Cheers, fella.
What did you want me to do, Mark? Read out what you
Right,
said.
yeah, well, there's a comment here. He blamed the atmosphere today. Oh,
Yeah.
see, I won't watch any of his post-match
It
nonsense.
was a bit question though. It's a bit. These comments were taken a little bit.
Oh,
it's
were
not
they?
so clear cut? Yeah, because Alistair McGold he made another comment about it. Let me bring it up and I'll explain it. Just keep talking and I'll find it.
Yeah.
It's just this is.
Seeing as we have a space now, I'm going to stick the link in the chat again, Matt.
Just stick it in, man. There's a space there. We've got a space.
Well, no. Well, that's what I said.
Oh, right.
We have
Sorry, mate.
See,
I was about to literally say one thing. I said, look, can you imagine Solanke as well today watching all the chances Bournemouth are creating? Yeah, thinking, I wish I was still in that. I wish I was still in that team instead of being in this team.
Yeah.
He must be thinking, what the hell have I done? Like, I could be in a team where I'm still getting chances created for me. Yeah,
I could be getting England
Solanke must be like watching this game today, thinking, bloody hell, man, I could have had a hat trick today if I was playing for Bournemouth still.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder why Argentina want to come and get Romero. He hasn't played all season. And we're sitting in 15th. There's got to be better choice defenders, right? Right? Oh man, I mean, Vicario today basically saved our ass. Time and time again, this guy steps up.
As usual, as becoming.
And he usually does it. Spence didn't have a bad game from what I saw, but then again, I did fall asleep. It's normally the curse of live football. When I watch it on TV, I'll nod off at half time.
I was struggling to really look at any of their performances today. Really, I was like, because it's such like there's another like really bad performance. I was like looking at the squad, like who really stood out, like really had a decent performance. I was struggling, man. Whereas obviously Vicario obviously saved some of the shots and that, but when you look at the start, actual outfield players, not a lot of them would play good. Hardly any of them did. They were all as a collective, man. Quite a lot of them were. Like Bergvall as well. I feel like he sometimes takes too many, like, even though he's young, I think he sometimes takes too many touches on the ball midfield as well, and sometimes slows it down a bit. So when he could sometimes take release that pass like an extra second earlier, he delays his pass. It lets them get back into positions. He's young, so he'll learn as well, as the more years go by. But I feel like that's definitely some part of his game that definitely we need to see improvement on, because he sometimes thinks he's got more. He thinks he's got more time on the ball than what he has in the Premier League, and obviously he'll learn that as more months go by. That you can only take sometimes you have to release it like here, there, a bit more quicker sometimes. But look, he definitely that's not a massive criticism, because he's been one of the players in our team who's shown the last few months he's actually wanting to play for the team, who actually wants to get about and actually put a foot in. I don't see any other midfielders doing that, so I'm not digging him out. I'm just saying that's like Solanke of his game. I feel like that's something he can definitely improve on going forward.
I haven't rated Solanke at all in any of his playing career. One good season in 9 years, is it now? He's been a pro 9 years. One good season. That was not a great return.
Championship player for a lot.
He did okay in Holland, I guess, but is he really the ilk of player that we're looking for after seeing such great players like Bale, Modric, Dembele, Kane, Van der Vaart, players like that got you out your seat and made you proud to be Tottenham players? I look at this team now and I'm just like, so where's the player that's going to excite me?
We don't have him.
We don't have him anymore. And it's just, me as a goalkeeper, watching Vicario, it reminds me of a young Peter Schmeichel. He excites me. It's weird. I'm more excited watching what goalkeepers do and what the rest of the outfield are doing. I'm so much of a goalkeeper fan. I'm like, right, maybe I can import that now. Then, I'm doing man versus fat. I'm in goal, doing quite well. Maybe I can start learning from these younger guys that are coming through. But I'm so old-fashioned. I just want the goalkeeper to save it and ping it out with his feet straight away instead of trying to find a short pass.
Okay, I've got the quotes, guys. When you're ready.
Yeah, you carry on that.
Do you want Corey? Did you finish, man? You were saying.
Yeah. You said you got the quotes, so I was going to finish there.
Okay. So there's some misunderstanding. So this is what's really irked the fans. Okay, and then I'll read you what Alistair Gold said after. Yeah. So he says, with their transition football, yes, chaotic, but at 2-0 down, it would have been very easy, particularly with the atmosphere as it was, for the boys to just let the game get away from us. But credit to them, they found a way to get back into the game and we got something out of it. So then Alistair McGold said, I think there's a little misunderstanding of this quote. I think he was saying the atmosphere was flat because they were 2-0 down rather than knocking the fans. And another quote I posted, he said it's down to this. The players started strongly to boost the crowd. So he's basically saying that the team needs to start better, on the front foot to get the crowd behind them.
It's not so much the players getting it. It's more like the tactics and the manager understanding how this league works. You can't bring tin pot tactics from tin pot leagues to the Premier League. You can't. All right, you're well and good. You've done it in Scotland. Well, no one in England cares about the Scottish League. It's so far down the FIFA picking order of the rankings that the American League is 5 places in front of it now that I've just seen on the updated stats for leagues. We won't soon. The Scottish League is going to be below the Saudi Pro League, the way the Saudi Pro League's going.
So why is this guy here, Corey? Why did they sign this manager? Based on what?
5th choice because the first 3 best options turned us down. We had Nagelsmann in the palm of our hands, but didn't want to bring his coaching staff in for 10 million. Then we jumped on another 2 managers. I can't remember all the managers back then, but as soon as I saw we were linked with this guy, I was like, I don't want him here. I really don't want this manager here. Like, just looking at every team he's been at, he's had injury problems, ignoring medical staff. He's got a track history of this, basically. And I didn't want that for us. It's that bad that, although our medical team isn't great, our head medical guys walked out and said, I can't be dealing with this guy because he doesn't listen. So if someone that is trained in the medical profession is telling you this guy is not fit enough to play football, and your manager's like, yeah, mate, well, I don't give a shit. I'm going to put him in anyway. Fuck it. It's my poor Aussie accent. And, the medical guys walked out because the manager hasn't listened to the top guy running the medical team. It's just...
Well, they told him, didn't they, Corey, that there were certain players that were redlining.
Yeah, exactly.
They
but
were
he didn't listen to it.
He
didn't listen to it. And, I think Ange couldn't even coach cricket at this rate. He's supposed to be an Australian, I thought these guys were supposed to be cricket and rugby coaches, not football coaches.
So do you think Levy is noticing this, that is so awful?
He doesn't care. He's got a yes man. So sell the players that were making the money back then, like your Kanes and Eric Dyer was on 120 grand a week and barely did anything. Ken Dombele, well, we can chalk that one off because we signed him off the back of a YouTube reel.
So you think Ange is here in the summer? You think Ange is going to be still in the job at the
if
start
he's still in the job at the start of next season, I'm done with this club.
Do you think he will be, Corey? Do you believe he is?
I want to say he's out. If we don't beat Alkmaar, he's out. But we've been saying this for months now. If he doesn't do this, he'll be out. If he doesn't do this month, he'd be out. How many losses in a row did we take before some fans realised what this guy's about? And I've been saying it for 18 months on channels and chat groups and stuff. I've been called negative. I've had death threats thrown at me. I've had everything, just because I'm an opinion on a football team. It's just ridiculous. When you can look at a track record of a manager screwing up players. I mean, the Celtic players were happy when that guy walked out the door. It's also a problem for a manager or a coach or anyone to not have a set backroom staff from where he's been from club to club to club. You look at top managers like Conte, he's got his brother, that's the goalkeeper coach or one of the coaches there, and he knows somebody else that's a really good fitness coach and he knows really good outfield coaches and set piece coaches and stuff like this. Conte had that backroom. Jose had that backroom staff. Over a period of time, Maurizio Pochettino built up a really strong back staff, didn't he? So these managers go from club to club to club and try and take their staff with them, so that they can
always
still,
Jesus Peru. What's his name? Jesus
Perez.
Jesus
Perez. That's it. He's always had it.
And he has the goalkeeping coach. Is it Tony? He had Tony Jimenez as well, didn't he?
I mean,
yeah.
Coaches as well.
Well, I said this earlier on in the show. The worrying thing about Ange is wherever he's been, he's never had a coaching staff that he takes with him. He's always just mixed and matched, like just people that he, like he kept on the ones that are already here. Your
But
Ryan
then-
Masons, and when he's brought in,
some of these
Ryan
managers
Mason-
coached some
Redknapp
time
and-
before should have been gone, man. They should have been gone. Mason's only here because he was with us as a kid, then got the injury. Whoopie do. Ledley King, yeah, I can understand about keeping Ledley King, but Mason wasn't exactly the world's greatest player. He
It's
wasn't
sentiment why Ryan
trees, man.
Mason's there. It's sentiment, mate, isn't it? Because basically he got obviously the head injury when he was playing for Hull against Chelsea, and he had to finish his career really early. And I think that's sentimental reasons where he come from our academy. We gave him a job at Spurs. Basically, he's a coach, and he doesn't really warrant being here as a coach. I get worried, like how much more longer is he going to be employed by this club? Like he seems to just survive every single manager. Where he's going to be here for the next 2 or 3. But I think go back to Dan's question about is he going to be here in the summer? Like, I don't really know because I'm looking at it like now and I'm thinking if Levy was serious about like how this season was going to go, he obviously knows it's bad. Sure, he ain't stupid. You know what I mean? He blatantly knows it's bad. It's getting really, really bad. This season is a disaster. Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, well, like there's certain times in the season where he could have like sort of potentially navigated this disaster and got rid of this manager, and he is sort of just waited it out. It's basically to me. It's like when Tad sort of said earlier, like it's like Ants might have like sort of fooled him into believing, that the only reason why we're doing crap is because of this injury crisis. Because this guy, Daniel Levy does not know. Sorry, mate. What's that?
No, it's just the fact that like now that we're serious about the NFL. I'm an NFL fan, but come on, if you want to pull a team, don't go for the Jags. They don't do fuck all. Just like Tottenham, so you might as well get 2 loser teams in the same area and then just support 2 loser clubs,
I don't know anything about it. They just as bad as us, are they? Yeah.
The Jags have done nothing in years, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched the sport. I've played the sport. It's a great sport to watch. It's confusing as hell to understand, but I mean, if you're going to go for a team, try for a better team than the Jaguars, man. Jesus.
Well, my view is he should be sacked tonight. And if he ain't sacked tonight, he should be sacked on Thursday if we get beat.
So you're hoping we lose? Is everyone hoping we lose? So
I said, no. I always want my team to win, Dan. Always. I'm a Tottenham supporter. What I'm saying is,
one game I did.
If they get beat on Thursday, the season's done. So if he ain't sacked on Thursday night after the game, if they lose, right, especially at home, then to me, he's here next season.
Yeah, that's 100%. I agree with that.
If they're not sacking him Thursday when they get beat, or if they get beat by Ajax or Frankfurt in the next round, if it's not this round, if he don't go, he's here for me next season. And then that means to me we're in serious puppies.
No way.
That's what it tells me.
Nothing.
Well, I don't understand it.
Survive.
Say if we go out on Thursday, and then like basically the season's done, we're not getting any sort of level, like any sort of European. We're basically going to potentially finish highest, 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
Why would he not sack him and just get an interim coach in for the last 9 or 10 games? He might as well. The season's done already. That will show a perfect sign to me, that he basically was putting all his eggs in the basket on this Europa League match. Because the moment we go to that competition, this guy's gone. If this guy's gone, the moment we go to this competition, that will show to me, that will prove to me, that all his eggs in the basket were on this Europa League to try and save this season. And he did see where the problem was, and he basically was like, right then, I believe you're going to win the Europa League. He didn't win it, and then he was gone. If he stays after this and he thinks I'm just going to let him see out the next 10 games, I sit and think, well, what's the point? We know the season's done. Do I want Ryan Mason? No, but you might as well just probably give it to the last 10 games. And that was sort of so a sign to me, that Ange's at least gone, and we're going to get a new manager in the summer, unless Mason gets the job permanently. If he keeps him here after that Europa League game on Thursday, then we go out, I'm sitting there thinking, well, the season's done. He's lost any chance he had of salvaging this season. Why is Levy keeping him for the last 10 games?
Daniel, I agree with you, mate. I agree.
David, I do understand it, but we're supposed to be a football club. We've got to stop entertaining the idea of what club's going to come over. Yes, American football brings in money, but it'll only be used for the Jaguars. It won't be used on top.
Let's forget the NFL talk, man. This is a football podcast, man.
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to make a quick announcement. We're going to go for another 20 minutes, and then we don't know how to do redirects because we're not that intelligent, but I'm going to put the link in the chat at the end. Go over to Tottenham away because they start at 9:30, and just put 2 marks show raid in their chat.
Going back to what Daniel was saying, I agree with Daniel. I think it's the only reason he's still here must be because of that Europa League. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah, but if we do somehow manage to win it, I'm not saying we're going to, but if by some miracle we win it, we're in the Champions League.
Yeah, and that's still a window.
And to be honest, if we go out Thursday night, there's literally no reason whatsoever why they keep it. Because
he should be sacked.
Yeah, because I can't see us finishing much higher than we are now. We might go up a place, but we're certainly not going to qualify for Europe.
We're not winning many games.
Mark, it's not even that at the moment. It's the actual what we're watching on the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
dreadful.
You know, we can dream about finishing wherever, but we are where we are. I don't know about the majority of fans, but a lot of fans seem to think it's all right. Look, we're 13th. We're still in the Europa. We could be done on Thursday night. Season over. So
I'm not even convinced we'll win Thursday. I'm not even convinced we can even win on Thursday.
I don't think we will.
I'm not.
I think we're going to go out.
Mark Taylor, it's spot on for me. And he said, if we don't get the first goal, and they do, we're in trouble because you know what we're like. If they go and low block, we're in trouble because we don't score against low block teams.
The only thing that helps us out in this tie is the away goal rule don't count.
Yeah,
because if it didn't count and they got the first goal, we'd need to score 3 straight away. Because basically we didn't score over there. If they got the first goal straight away in this second leg, we need to get 3. We ain't getting 3 goals. So this sort of away goal, no away goal will sort of favour us. Means we're sort of still in the tie here. But the way we played in that first leg, like even we played Alkmaar early in the season. I know it was like a group game, and I know we had some injuries. It's the game where Richarlison scored the penalty. I remember like in that game, in the last half hour of that game, Alkmaar bossed us. Absolutely bossed us in the last half hour of that match, and we're very. If they were clinical, could at least score 2 or 3 goals. They could have potentially got at least a draw or won that game, that Alkmaar game in the group stages. It's not like we bossed them in the home match. And I'm thinking they're sitting there thinking like the way we're playing right now, we're a very fractured sideline, and we are vulnerable to any attack coming at us right now. In that Alkmaar game, unless it's a complete
1 win in 10 at home. Do you know that? That's the record at the moment.
It's embarrassing.
One win.
Is it only one win since November at home, isn't it?
Yeah.
What against who's that against Man United? Yeah, I got 1 win in November at home. That's embarrassing, man. We used to make this. Used to be a fortress, Tottenham's grounds, and now we basically every match is like an away game to us now. But basically, like it's like if you was a fan today, I know we had a lot of possession. If you was a neutral, you turned this game on and didn't know Spurs were the home team, and you didn't know Bournemouth were the away team, you would think Bournemouth were the home team by how easy they were carving through us. It was like literally we had possession, but it was just empty possession. How many times this season have we had empty possession where it's like literally we just hold on to the ball? It's so predictable as well. The thing is, we got thrown out of. This is what I said. This is what I said to people a couple of weeks ago. We got promised for like about 16. Well, a couple of years ago when he come in, that we're going to see this scintillating football, all this stuff as well. We saw it for about maybe 10 games, and then I've not seen any sort of great football. Like the defensive side of it's awful anyway. Ten Hag got criticised a lot, before he got sacked from Man United for his style of football, was awful. People didn't know what the hell it was, People said, I don't know what it is. It's like we're just basically passing games by. We're going into a game. We don't really have any structure in how we're going to win this football match. It's basically like we luck a match to win a match. I seem to be that's how Spurs have been playing for the last 4 or 5 months, It's basically like when we win a football match these days, it's like we're lucking out in the match. It's like the other team are not putting their chances away where they're in complete control. And it comes back to haunt them in the last 20 minutes of a match. And then we get a couple quick fire goals. That seems to be a lot of things that's happened a lot of times in this season. It's basically... Sorry, mate. I think it's something else good.
What was the plan today? What were we trying to do today in an attacking sense? Does anybody have an idea? Because you've got Solanke up top, Surely you've got to put some crosses in the box for him. the wingers, did they put any crosses in at all?
I mean, Odebear actually
Yeah.
didn't have too bad of a game for the first 20 minutes, and he dropped off.
But did he get a
I
cross
feel-
into the box? Did he actually
he
manage
didn't
to
put no
put a
crosses
decent ball in the box?
think
It's all
I
right
saw
doing all
him
that
manage
running into nowhere. Did he actually deliver with a decent cross or a pass into anybody in that?
None of our wingers do that, and that is what. This is why I feel so. Everyone slates Dominic Solanke, but he requires balls into the box at head height. Most of his goals for Bournemouth have been headers. We have got nobody that does that. Nobody. And so people can slate Dominic Solanke all they like. But if you don't feed the man, he's not going to score. It's as simple as that. And we got the wide players are that bad that he gets no service. He gets no service.
Don't put crosses in the box. The only one who actually, when you think about it, the only one who's a half decent crosser in a team really is Porro.
Porro
sometimes puts a half decent cross in. When you actually think about it, we don't have hardly any good crosses in the team. We don't put hardly any crosses in the box for our number 9. He's actually a proper number 9 as well. Solanke is one of them number 9s who's going to do all the dog's work for you as well, yeah. And he wants service. That's the sort of number 9 he is. He wants service. And
exactly.
Give him service. And if you watch the Bournemouth game today, you see Bournemouth. You see Evan Nilsson getting all this service that Solanke would have thrived on last season, or would thrive on if he got that service in the Spurs shirt. So I mean, he must be really frustrated. I know he's only just come back from injury, but he must be really frustrated. I've just come back. I know the levels of the team from Tottenham Bournemouth here, but he's like, I've left this team to go to this team to try and take my career to another level here, to show people that I can perform at the big stage here. And I'm going backwards in my career, in sort of my career now as well, because I'm struggling to even get service in a football match now. I've got to sort of go deep now to try and get the ball to try and create my own chances. And that's not the sort of player Solanke really. He's not a Harry Kane player like that.
The attack's not functioning at all. The attack is not functioning.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I guess if you can call this a system, we're trying to look like we're trying to play Arsenal, their system a few years ago, where they tried to walk the ball in the net all the time. You know? Takes me back to that jokey thing from. Anybody ever seen the IT Crowd?
Yeah,
the comedy program. It's like the two guys sitting there and he's crying. It's like Arsenal. They're just always trying to pass it into the net. That's what it feels like with Tottenham. It's like, why are you passing it here? That you should pass it forward. Stop passing it back. Get a cross in. Stop trying to walk the ball into the fucking net.
No, but the thing is, when we do cross the ball, for some reason our wide players seem to hammer it in at knee height. I know that can create mayhem. I know it can, because you can get bounces and you can score own goals. No one actually crosses the ball with a purpose and looks for Solanke's head. You know what I mean?
But I don't think our players have the technical ability to do that.
Solanke is a striker that feeds on service. He's not. And when he drops deep, it's because no one's feeding him. You know, he's going to look for the ball.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
I mean, if Solanke was in the right system, if Solanke had stayed at Bournemouth, all the crosses they put in today, he'd have had a field day. Absolute field day. I bet after the game he thought, why on earth did I come here? Why didn't I just not stay at Bournemouth?
Maybe he thinks Ariola's coming in the summer. Maybe he thinks he's coming. Because that was a kind of a job interview today, wasn't it, for Ariola?
Well, do you know, I think we said this. I think we said this on the pub show last night when I was drunk.
We did.
Yeah.
What did you say?
We said it basically. It was an interview for Ariola today. That is what we said.
Yeah.
When we did No Mud in the pub last night, and I was a bit drunk.
Yeah, I said 3-1 to Bournemouth, and my words were Iriola masterclass incoming. That's what I put. I thought we'd get beat 3-1. And you know what? It was a 2-2 draw, but it could easily have been 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, whatever.
Yeah, do you see when that touchline though? He had the aura, he was constantly putting out instructions to his team. He didn't ever seem to be that happy what they were doing as well. I watched him. I was I definitely agree with you. Yeah? That felt like it was an interview today. Yeah, I don't know if he knew it as well. Yeah, But it seems to me like he felt like he might have known that this. I don't feel like he was doing it on purpose, but I feel like he knew that this is his interview, maybe to even showcase his like potential even more. So I definitely I was impressed. I was impressed with like his mannerisms off the pitch when he's like instructions to his bin. I watched our guy as well, and watched him basically stand there like 11 for 79 minutes, just sort of waiting for things to happen. I'm watching that guy move around like constantly, like literally not happy. Like sometimes they're like making a wayward pass, and I'm like, he's like trying to explain the situation. I just look at his aura and I think like this is the right guy to like potentially go for in the summer. Like there might be the one summer we can get him, before he gets even bigger, before a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, or someone goes for him not this summer, the summer after next. So I look at now and I think, if you look at all the top clubs, who's going to be sacking their manager maybe in the summer? Like, if you look at all the clubs in like the Premier League, maybe if it goes really wrong at Man United, do they sack Almiron maybe? So maybe if Man United sack Almiron, maybe like Man United might be looking for another manager in the summer. But other than that, the only team that's like at the top clubs maybe looking for a manager, like, well, I Spurs the top club. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the bigger clubs in the league is like Tottenham. So like Iraola is definitely attainable in the summer. If like, and I'm looking, I'm thinking like he's right now he's sort of perfect coach. Like the style, he's not like we've got to completely break down the style from what we've got now. He's an attacking manager as well, but this football isn't even really attacking anymore. So like he can definitely get 5-10% better out of some of these players that are in this squad. Even though
You've got to remember as well. He's on £1 million at Bournemouth per year.
Oh no, that's perfect for Levy, isn't it? That's perfect for Levy. Cheap manager. You've got to give him a lot of wages.
He's on £1 million a year at Bournemouth. Ange is on 5. Conte was on 15
as well.
Conte was on 15. You know what I mean? You know, so I mean, we could pay him the same as Ange, and that's 5 times his money.
So you give him about 3-4 million. He's taking that a year.
Of course he is.
Definitely.
Of course he is. Well,
that's
put it this way.
Times his wage.
Put it this way, right? You can't tell me that people in clubs don't speak to each other. You know what I mean? Because it goes on. Even though it's not meant to, it's meant to be against the rules. You can't. I'd be very surprised if people at Tottenham hadn't spoke to X, Y, or Z manager that they wouldn't mind when Ange is sacked. And you can't tell me it don't go on, because it does go on. I mean, I don't know for certain, but it definitely goes on. And Areola would have come to that stadium today. He'd have seen a marvellous stadium, big shiny stadium. You got to remember, Bournemouth's ground only holds 12,000 people. That's less than our South Stand. He'd have come to that big shiny stadium and he'd have thought, I could come here. The expectation on me is not to win nothing, but I could get 4 million a year, 5 million a year.
And we get a bit of attractive football as well.
Yeah.
Looking at a list of top 10 managers that are out of work at the moment, there's some incredible names on this list at the moment. I'm just going through and I'm like,
the one that always worries me. Yeah, the one that always worries me that people go to.
Manager anymore. You've got, well, Klopp's never going to come back to the Prem. Zinedine Zidane's still out of work.
Well, that's not attainable.
No, we would never be able to afford him. Roberto Mancini's out.
No,
you could probably get Mancini. You could probably get Mancini.
Edin Terzic is a good manager.
Yep, Dortmund, ex-Dortmund. Yep.
Forget about Eric Ten Hag. Apparently he's on there. Joachim Low.
Oh, Joachim Low.
Joachim Low.
The old German national manager.
Yeah.
He's a very good manager.
Club football manager has not been experienced.
Sean Dyche is number 9 on the list on this top 10 managers that are out of work.
Yeah. Who's the 10th one? Sam Allardyce?
No, Paulo Fonseca.
Oh, Paulo Fonseca.
I've got to ask one question to people. I've got to ask one question to people 1 second, because this comes up quite a lot, and I'm not on the fence about this. Yeah, even I do not like Andrew, and people say about Southgate. Obviously, I think we're all English here. Obviously, we're sort of root for the England national team. Yeah, we spent how many years sort of wanting Southgate to lead the English national team because he wasted that 2 finals and there's an opportunity for us to win a trophy
Who wants him? Who wants him, Daniel?
I've heard some Spurs fans in the chat here basically say it will get to the situation where they'll take Southgate over Ange because it's that bad. And I'm like, no. Basically, what it basically is, you spent the last 6 years wanting this guy not to manage your national team here because he is basically a bottle job here. And then his last club managing job was Middlesbrough. I think it was about 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And he relegated them. He relegated them. His last job, he relegated that team to the Championship from the Premier League. So people completely forget his last club job and just remember like him taking England to 2 finals. And a lot of people who are basically saying, "Oh, that's Southgate managing like Tottenham," were like a lot of them are English as well. Were like the same people who were saying, "Get him out." Like, I do not want him managing the national team. So I'm like, just thinking like the logic in there, like, sure you don't want this managing your club because that would just be a disaster. I'm like thinking, I do not want to go through that hell either as well. Like the national team hell and like pass it back to my club team. I don't want to go through that hell either.
No
So I'm
way,
thinking,
no way, Jose.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Yeah, I just think some Spurs fans saying it. I'm thinking, no, that's too mad for me, man. No matter how bad it gets, I do not want Southgate managing this football club because I'm going to point
I
out
would rather have
football helmet.
Yeah, I would rather have someone like Shaky Stevens than manage our club than fucking Gareth Southgate. The guy's blind. At least he knows our tactics.
I'm taking Allardyce over Southgate. I'm taking Allardyce over Southgate before I take
Southgate.
Southgate.
Allardyce would get us results.
I'm taking anyone over Southgate. I'm not having Southgate after I spent 6 years here. Saying I don't want him managing England and wanting him out the England job, and then having managing my club. No chance, man. That's football hell, guys.
If Southgate couldn't get over the line with the players that he had in that squad and win a trophy, then what good is he going to be to Tottenham with what we've got? Players wise, he had the elite. He had, you looked at that squad, that England squad, and you thought, yeah, they've got some players in there. You know what I mean? And he restricted their play so much because
he is the Italy final.
Yeah. Unbelievable, man.
Let's go 1-0 up in the first 8 minutes of the game. Yeah, sit back on it. Fuck. Man.
I look at the Spain final. I think we sort of lucked it to that final. Yeah, we were never really the favourites to win that final. Yeah, but that Italy final, we went 1-0 up early. Luke Shaw. Yeah, there was an opportunity to get the second or third goal. He just sat back in that final. Yeah, basically waited for Italy to equalise. Yeah. Then it got back to 1-1. So it's basically there's an opportunity then to try and win the game in the 90 minutes. He sat back here. He did not even try and go for the win in extra time. There's another opportunity to try and then win it in extra time. He's basically taken it to the one situation where you don't want to take it to the Italians, and that's penalties. But the Italians are so good at the finals as
English lads taking penalties in a trophy in a competition, mate. We got history. We have a track history here at England.
Yeah. But also, what you don't want to do is the Italians.
And Gareth Southgate missed that penalty that knocked us out Euros.
Are we going to start wrapping it up? We got 4 minutes to
listen, lads, we'll wrap it up because Tottenham away is coming on. Give us 5 minutes to make a cup of tea before they get on.
There is a link there in the chat.
There's the link for Tottenham away tonight.
Because we don't know how to do redirects. I'm not sure how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it, but if you click on that link
yourself in the chat if you want to go over there. There's the link, Mark's put it in. That'll take you to Tottenham away. And
that'll take you to Tottenham away. Please put in there to Mark Show Raid, so that gives our channel publicity. Yeah. Final thing, thank you for the 300 subs. We appreciate all of you. We love all of you like brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on the 300 subs, man. Congrats on the 300 subs.
Cheers,
thank you, mate.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up now. Daniel Coys, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Please sub to Dan as well. Yeah. Please sub to Dan Ellis.
Yeah, I'll sort that. Yeah, Dan Coys.
Yeah, that useless in here that I ain't even put his link in the chat.
Corey, thank you for coming on, mate. We appreciate it. TJ earlier has Mark Taylor. I think I forgot someone, but I'm sorry. Everyone has been on. Make sure that everyone, please, subscribes to the Danalist. Because he's on his way to 1,000. So get subbed over to him. There's plenty of content coming from him this week. Great show. We've been on for 3 hours, 20 minutes. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic.
I think we'll do more of these, mate.
Yeah, we will. We will.
But therapy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But therapy after watching a rubbish Spurs game, isn't it? We don't do like weekly therapy sessions after.
Somewhere out there, I used this last night.
Because to be honest, it saves us hunting around for guests as well. It really does, doesn't it? If we just stick the link in the chat.
Yeah, if you ever want me to come on my own stuff, I've always got some time, mate.
No. Look, when we're backstage, mate, we'll have your number off you and we'll stick you in a WhatsApp group.
Yeah. No worries.
Somewhere out there, like I said, I used this last night. There's a Spurs fan holding a Teddy Sheringham teddy bear, holding his Harry Kane lunchbox, walking backwards and forwards in his room, going, "We used to be good. We used to be good. We used to be good."
Listen, let me tell all you younger people, once Levy's gone, it'll get better. Trust me. And on that note, it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night. And it's a good night from him, although I've not prepared at the moment. Hang on a minute.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And again, for the 300 subs, have a great Sunday night. And then Mark will end the stream.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much.
The 2 Mark Show. Don't need a dress and